Hi everyone. I thought it would be a good idea to have a Christmas slash New Year's slash Hanukkah slash whatever it is end of year live stream with all my WSS friends. Well, at least those who could make it in such short notice. But yeah, how has 2020 been for all of you?
I would say that I don't remember too much of 2020, I guess you would say.
Why do you not remember?
I would say, I guess it's because like, um, I don't know. It's just more of like, it's more so as I would just forget what would happen yesterday. And I mean, I guess like I spend too much time focusing on like, uh, a few weeks from now or like a month or two from now. But like after that passed, like I pretty much forget about it.
Okay.
So it's I don't remember too much like what I've done yesterday or the day before that.
Nice, fair enough. I guess if one gets if one loses one's memory too frequently, it'll be hard to remember the whole of a year. So that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, how? I guess maybe a more specific question is, how have people's journeys in socionics been over the past year?
I'm meeting less people, so I have less opportunity to even use socionics or even apply it to my life.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've been kind of on and off about like studying sociology because I've been like busy with my newly established tarot and astrology channel on YouTube. So I'm looking to get back into studying sociology again, and it's just 2020 has been like a really busy year for me because at the beginning of 2020 I just started a job that is with Publix, which is a grocery store in Florida, mainly around the southeastern region of the United States. So I've been pretty much been using my customer service skills, and really um, making sure customers are well taken care of. So so pretty much during the pandemic, it's been real busy for me and real stressful for me because I'm like taking in a lot of emotions on like the overall reaction of people. Like like a while ago, when the pandemic was still new, there was a lot of people that were like um, piling into my store getting toilet paper and stuff like that, and people that were like panic buying and stuff like that, and I was pretty much like it pretty much stressed me out a lot. I also had like maybe 2 or 3 COVID scares recently. So that was like another highlight. But overall, what I would say about 2020 is that it was a growing year for me because I learned to do the things that I don't like to do, like doing manual labor. I've gotten better at like understanding like how how I got to do this to help myself. Um, so pretty much I've been pretty much working on like just taking action more. and recently I got a car for myself. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So it sounds like you've had some very big milestones this year, getting a new job, getting a car. I guess the COVID scares don't help so much. So everyone has probably had some sort of COVID scare at some point. Hi, Liz. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I had a bit of a COVID actually. Talking of which, Bella and Daniel have COVID right now.
Yeah,
Oh no.
and we're isolating together.
We've been stuck in here for a week and we're starting to go crazy.
So you
I
can't
bet.
get COVID over the internet, right? Like we're totally safe.
Don't think so.
I don't think we should be talking to you right now. I think you need to go.
Might catch a computer virus.
Yeah, computer virus, exactly. Nice.
Yeah. Ooh. No, COVID's had a bit of an impact on me this year as well. Lara and I were meant to be getting married, but due to COVID, we had to delay the wedding by a year. So hopefully, if everyone gets vaccinated in time, we should be able to have a wedding next June. But that's only if things improve.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if COVID stayed for like 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wouldn't surprise me either, especially all the mutations going on. I've been trying desperately to find out the Socionics type of COVID-19 to know.
G-roll Socionics, as they say.
Yeah, no clue. No clue.
Well, it gets spread outside, not indoors, so maybe it's more of an extroverted feeling.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. More like an FE, read or ego type.
Right.
Maybe. Well, I'm not sure because it forces everyone to become ILIs or LIIs probably. Everyone's now an LII.
Interesting. Yeah, it's dual. ESE.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, you become the dual of COVID.
Yes, that would make sense. We've got a very interesting commenter on here called Yetzira Litso, who has been doing some research into socionics. And realised that introverted functions are intense and extroverted functions are extense. I think that makes sense, given that one goes in and one goes out. Maybe. Could be just a tautology. Yeah. So let me see.
Yeah, I think it's on Ibrahim's side that he says that introverted functions try to refine and reduce the information, while extroverted functions, elements, try to expand it. So FE is about getting more and more emotional interactions, and FI is about selecting for them. It's about finding which are the best relations, where to get close to and where to get far from. And I is about this particular future, and is more expensive too. So I do think it could be like that.
Do you think what you just said for the extroverted one makes sense for this new word extent? Is that the extent of it? Oh, apparently random name is Corona's beneficiation.
Okay.
Well,
How's everyone doing? Anyone do anything exciting? And the holidays. It's holidays, right? Well,
Oh,
I forget not everyone's Canadian. I'm
here.
like, we're just going into a new lockdown, so what's everyone's plans? That's not relevant. There's also a
Peru's
terrible echo.
just getting the second wave. So
Yeah, really bad echo. Who's experiencing an echo?
It's probably you if you're not experiencing it.
I'm
not
not
experiencing
experiencing it either.
I can hear it.
Oh.
It's not so bad.
No, I'm fine. No, I've been getting very fat on turkey and sourdough bread because Zara's been baking a lot.
Nice.
At
And
least
we
you're
haven't
able to
used the
move
bed house.
in the house. There's stuff in this room.
As what?
At least you've been able to move around the house.
Oh, that's true. If I can get exercise via walking.
mm,
You could always do like laps around your bed.
That is very true. I can.
He's been bringing us
Technically, we're meant to be self-isolating because we are harboring COVID patients.
I gotta say that COVID has made me more of like an LSI, because I've been really enforcing the rules towards social distancing and like wearing masks. I'm like a customer like saying, "Where's your mask? Where's your mask?" And people are like people like at my work who are just like standing real close to each other. I want to just like say, I just want to say 6 feet, keep 6 feet, like that.
Yes, I've noticed a good number of people become a lot more inclined to enforce the rules, especially around mask wearing, especially around distance keeping. I've been less bothered by it personally. I just, as long as I stay away from my grandparents, I'm quite happy either way. But yeah, other people are taking it to very much an authority-based line on this. Who here has been more of the sort of, I must keep everything safe, I must enforce the rules more and make sure people wear masks? And who's been more, oh, I just can't wait to think it over if I don't.
Sorry, you echoed really good.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything you said.
Okay. Where's the echo coming from?
It's coming from someone.
I can hear it before.
Who isn't muted. If we all mute while you speak, there won't be an echo.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea. Let's see who's muting. I'm going to mute. Oh, okay, actually, I can't hear it now. So
No
that's
echo now. No echo now.
It's someone who's muted. Okay.
yeah.
But who here has been more of a sort of, oh, I must make sure everyone's wearing masks sort of person? And who's been the sort of person who says, oh, why is everyone telling me what to do?
I actually enjoy wearing masks in public, especially when it's cold outside.
Yeah, actually,
I'm probably in between.
Yeah. See, the thing about masks.
I've been enjoying these new hygienic standards, washing your hands and disinfecting your hands and wearing masks. We should have done this years ago.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And if it stays, I'm cool with that too. Even if there's a workable vaccine or multiple vaccines.
I think it's good practice.
I have noticed that masks do keep the face warm.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I think if you can't grow a beard, then wearing a mask might be a good way to avoid getting a chilly face.
And that's why I like it, because I can only grow bum fluff.
Yes,
Well,
me too.
But a longer beard in the mask is so uncomfortable. I can only have short beards now.
no,
Yes.
I can tell you for certain that in Florida, it's kind of hard to wear a mask like in outside because it gets like so warm in like day. But right now it's not warm. It's pretty much like 58 degrees now. So the mask helps, but when it's like summer or normal weather, it just makes you want to take off the mask, and that's why I shave every day that I go to work.
Makes sense. I mean, I find the main problem is that I can't see when wearing a mask.
Oh, because of your glasses.
Yes. It's not that it goes over my eyes, it's that it misses up my glasses.
I 3D printed a little thing that will stop it from your glasses from steaming up. I'll give it to you.
Oh, that's brilliant.
They're at home. They're at home.
You can
Why didn't you
also,
bring your 3D printer with you?
I should have done.
you can
It'll
also
probably
put
take up half the room.
you can put shaving cream on your glasses before you go to bed, and then in the morning wipe it off, and it'll stop it from fogging up.
Why?
That's what I've been doing.
Oh.
Why?
Whoa.
How does that work?
I have no idea how it works, but it does work.
It works. Ooh.
That was so interesting.
I just accept the fog. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just like, this is my new
I'm
reality.
the only one
This
here
is
that doesn't get to
my-
wear glasses.
So,
Yes, you are.
so does
No, I mean,
does that last all
never
day?
heard it.
Yeah, it lasts
Thermometer
usually for
stand.
like 2 days.
Oh, cool.
Oh. No, I am worried for my health and safety, though. I think I'm going to get hit by a car at some point just because I can't see where anything's coming from.
It could be worse.
And the mask knee. I've been getting like pimples all around where my mask is too. That sucks. But other than that, I don't mind it.
How do you notice these things? Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'm stressed out talking about this. Okay.
I just don't like the smell. I don't know. I don't like the smell of my wet, damp face, and I just have that smell when I'm trying to shop. It's just appalling. I can't bear it. That's the worst thing. The
Maybe you
smell,
should brush your
everyone can
teeth
see.
more, Jack.
I do. Zara always tells me to brush my teeth.
Then bring gum with you.
Maybe
Or
I should.
mint.
Why
Maybe
does Zara have to remind you?
Maybe I should just, before I put my mask on, put in some chewing gum. But then I can't
It's
spit
okay,
it
I
out.
forget too.
Someone once told me, I forget who it was, but someone told me that like now that they have to wear masks everywhere, they brush their teeth less because they don't have to like nobody smells their breath, and I'm like, that's
Ew. But don't you smell your own breath though?
Yeah, I guess I don't care.
Yeah.
That's a flat out lie for me.
Oh dear.
I brush my teeth every time, even though I have a mask.
No, I know. I'm not saying everyone does that. I'm just saying that someone told me that that's what they do.
I think it also gets in the way of communication. I had to have a mask on when I was getting a haircut, and I had the worst haircut of my life.
Me too. Me too. This even happened.
It is hard to hear with
That's
them.
why I haven't gone yet.
I don't think it was from the mask, but I just.
I haven't had a haircut since COVID. So you may know this.
Actually, scheduled to get one this Tuesday.
I managed to get Zara to cut my hair twice. The first time went very well. I'm going to get her to do it a third time. It's not allowed to go to the hairdressers at the moment. So, yeah.
I think the only plus side of losing our sense of smell is not being able to smell the morning.
Oh no.
There's an interesting question from Eduardo. Well, Eduardo, you can join. You can join the chat if you'd like. Feel free. So he asks, do people in your respective countries get offended when the IR thermometer points to the head and then they demand to be pointed at the hand?
I don't even know what that means.
They don't do
Never
that.
heard of it.
I think he means, the infrared temperature.
Yeah.
Like a gun thing.
I've
Yeah.
never had anyone use that on me.
It always points at the, not exactly the hand, the wrist, but but never seen it point anyone on the head.
I
That's
don't
not
know
really
that
a
they
You know.
nice study.
that's on the head.
I've only ever had it to my forehead.
Wait, why would someone get offended?
I don't know.
Girl, I don't know.
Edward, would you mind expanding on that?
Oh, you're so sweet. You sound so nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Hi there, I like the cat ears.
Thank you. I got him as a late Christmas present.
Mm. Did you have a fancy dress Christmas party?
No. It's there's a story behind these ears, but I won't get into it now.
I managed to get my dad a sort of Christmas present. They were pajamas that I bought for myself, but they were too big for me, so I gave them to him. It's the first time
What
we've
are you
had
getting for your dad?
Oh, pajamas.
Oh, nice.
I gave them my pajamas because they were too big for me. And normally he gives me hand-me-downs, but now I give him hand-me-ups. The tables have been turned. Someone's trying to enter, but the studio is full. I wonder who's trying to enter. Oh, well. I guess what we can do is we can... actually, no, Dorota's sort of speaking most of the time. So maybe I'll be nice to Dorota and not out for the time being. Is that all right, Dorota, if I don't kick you out just for now? Unless you want to be.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Okay, good. I'll keep you for the time being. The doctor has asked if my dad is an LSI. Actually, I think he's an LIE.
No, we know he's an LIE.
Yeah, he's an LIE. Yeah, no, my parents have a sort of interaction where they both sort of shoot each other's extroverted sensation, mobilizing at each other.
Oh my god.
Lots of sort of heated arguments that sort of boil away into nothing.
Intense household.
That sounds really fun.
It is.
Jack, I was dating
an
an LIE not too long ago, and he tried to shoot his SE mobilizing at me, and my SE roll would just blow back at him, and then not want to deal with it anymore. It's like, here you go, and then now I'm walking away.
Yeah, it does become a. It is certainly an interesting environment. Usually Bella hides in the room.
It's like they want to start something. I don't get it.
They do sometimes, yeah.
Hey,
to be honest.
My two parents are continually looking to start things with each other. That's the thing.
So are they like always fighting or something?
Well, they just start shouting at each other, but it's like they're
fighting. They're just passionate.
They're bipolar, so like they probably don't know how
Yeah,
they're
they
affecting their own environment.
I always tell my mum off, and she gets upset because she's not aware of it.
It's like one starts screeching and the other starts making sardonic comments back, which causes more screaming.
That sounds like fun. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's not the most comfortable of atmospheres, I'll tell you that.
No, like I genuinely think that sounds fun.
The thing is, it works for them. It's not like a marriage on the edge of divorce or anything like that. They
both secretly like it.
They do. My mum's told me
They both like it. They both like it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad to me. You just got to get it out, and once it's out, it's at least it's not harboring negative feelings, right? You just say, "I don't like that," and then just move forward.
It doesn't
be like
always work that way, but I guess it depends on the person.
I guess that works.
Exactly. I think it's harder for introverted sensation leads and mobilizing to put up with. But for someone like me, it's all right. I'm used to it.
I'll get used to it, but I won't react to it well.
Yeah. Well, if it's used if it's thrown at you or thrown at me, then yes, then I sort of push it off. But if it's happening around me, I'm okay. I can sort of phase it out.
Yeah, no, when it's happening around me, as long as I'm not the subject of it, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. And as
Pretty
for the other
much.
family members as actor, it's IEI brother and an EII eldest sister, still younger than me, but she's not in the house at the moment. She's with her boyfriend.
I'm pretty sure I have an SEE brother and an LSI father.
Oh,
Mhm.
how's that?
Growing up, it was very tumultuous,
Mm.
but they've mellowed out over the years. It took them a while. They didn't exactly start respecting. I think they like. It's really weird because none of them are SI valuing, and I'm pretty much the only one in the family who is. So I, always just want this harmonious, comfortable environment. But for them, it's just kind of like not even a thought. I think my dad always thought that I was timid and needed to be protected, I guess. And I guess like never took me seriously that I could like take care of myself. I don't know if you relate to that at all, Jack or Malik. Hey, what's up, Malik? Another SI suggestive here.
I'm Daniel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
I think
Pretty
like
much.
people who value SE don't take SI valuers seriously in some respects. I think we're just like timid. At least that's my experience with it.
I would say my family ever thought of me as timid.
Yeah, I don't think timid is the right word. Maybe like just wandering around, just constantly flippant on what to do.
It might be different for me because I'm a female.
Yeah, I
mean,
would
that's how
say
my
more
dad
like
kind of sees me.
undecided or.
What? You're associating being timid with being a female?
No, I'm saying my dad is because he looked at me like that because I'm his daughter and he's my dad. Just in like a traditional sense. He's a very traditional like person. I'm just like channeling like his thought because that's how he always was when I was growing up, is what I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of the same way my mom is. But my dad, he always thinks that I have like a plan or like a plan with a backup plan. I mean, I do, but at the same time, I don't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not solid.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I have a plan, but it's not like a well thought out plan. It's just we just gonna see where things are gonna go from there.
Yeah.
There's a question from Random Name who says, how would introvert intuition leads react to this sort of banter?
Towards SE banner.
Yeah.
Oh.
They try to get it back on track.
It makes me laugh. Like, are like when somebody's like in an argument with somebody, and it's like for some stupid reason or it's like playfulness, I just like laugh out loud. Like I did with on Christmas Eve. There was like an argument between my boss, who was an LSI, and this lady that is characterized as a Karen. So every time she says something that's like completely wrong, that there is this. So she pretty much insulted my LSI boss, and I just like quietly chuckled in the background. Also, like conflict makes me laugh for some reason. Like, I don't know why, but yeah, conflict makes me laugh, and like
I know that my brother, he just sort of tunes out of it as well, to be fair. He's usually in his own world, usually online. So I guess he just sort of soaks it up, if anything. I wonder how an LII would react. I know Amy didn't like it so much. She used to withdraw quite a bit. Clayton, do you have any extrovert sensation, mobilizing, or leading type in your family?
In my family, my dad and sister happen to be LSE.
Oh.
And so they're both, it's not their intention, but they're bulldozers. And if I don't say, hey, stop that, or hey, watch out, I don't want that, they're going to do it anyway. But their intention is never to muscle me around or anything. But also, if they want something or they see something's not working, they are going to make it work. They're going to push it. They're going to be pushy. They're going to say, not become aggressive, but be more direct. And I feel sorry for anyone who's in customer service who has to talk to either of them, because they're going to get like right down to the point and what is wrong and why and how to fix it. And it's not going to, I don't know. They don't need to sugarcoat
My
things when they
family
explain
who's
things.
SE valuing intentionally bulldozes. They will purposely make you feel uncomfortable. And the LIE that I had previously just sort of recently dated, sort of. I mean, he's SE mobilizing, and I'm pretty sure his intention was, whenever he started a conflict, was to like start a conflict. And then he would say that it was me. But we won't get into all that. But no, they intentionally bulldozed, and they like wanted you to feel uncomfortable.
I also dated a gamma recently. She was SE, and I couldn't pinpoint her type down for months and months until I realized, and I was like, okay, well, but I'm still into her, and we were together for a while. And when we argued, she just would gain more energy and more energy. And I can't just argue forever. You're not going to beat me because you're right. You beat me because I just run out of endurance. I can't do it anymore. So I just go, okay, do whatever you want just so it's over and I can go back to chilling. It wasn't a dynamic that would work for me. I don't mind arguing, but there just comes a point where I can't handle it anymore. Unless it's something, I don't know, life or death related, then of course I'm going to get it.
Conflictor, right?
But I typically don't have issues with SCEs. It's the ESIs I have issues with.
I find usually with LSCs and ESCs, they usually try not to do so much with bulldozing, but if a more open approach isn't working, they can default to that. I don't think they really like doing it.
In the comments, Ibrahim is saying that LSCs are not bulldozers because they didn't value SC. I'd say that, well, they do have an extremely high work ethic, and that could also be kind of like a bulldozer because they're so determined and, well, partly also because of leading TE.
Well,
I mean, oh, someone talking? Oh, sorry, Austin.
LSCs do have demonstrative SCs, so that in a way could like really make them seem like bulldozers, but not really.
I live with an LSE. To me, he's not a bulldozer, but I've never seen him in. I haven't seen him in a huge variety of contexts. I think like living with them at home might be different than like say working with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I was trying to talk and my mic was muted. Firstly, Ibrahim, you should join the call. Oh wait.
Yeah, why isn't Ibrahim on here?
Wait,
and secondly, I find LSCs are like people that just don't exist to me. Like I don't notice them at all. They're just like very plain and like I don't understand why you're here, and I don't understand You're not busy because you're in this call right now. You're participating.
Ibrahim's very, very busy making comments.
Yeah, you're already participating, Ibrahim. Just come in the call. We all want you here.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
the way, I just got this
Ibrahim, you can any
what I thought it
multitask
was
in the
an
call.
integer,
Just get in the
but
call.
it turns
Nobody
out there-
cares.
We
Liz,
want
what
you,
type-
Ibrahim.
He probably doesn't want to embarrass his Senegalese friends. They're probably
Fine. Okay, you can't talk. It's whatever. But just know that you're wanted in this call, and that at any moment, you just join in. Okay.
I wouldn't say LSCs are conflict averse. I wouldn't say that. I'd say uniquely out of the deltas, they are not conflict averse. I think if there is some sort of confrontation, they will meet it head on and sort it out.
Are you putting your hand up?
I think that's going to be their demonstrative function. I think same with ESCs. But I do think that if they had the choice, they wouldn't have that environment.
I get it.
Wait, no, stop. Bella wants to talk. Let her speak.
She's gone red. She wants to know what type you are, Liz.
Oh, I'm an EI. Well, it's up for debate, but I'm pretty sure I'm an EIE. Kind of sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure of anything. Other people are sure that I'm an EIE, okay?
That might
I can definitely see bold FE for sure. Yeah.
People type me secondarily as SLP, but I personally don't think that's true, and neither does Jack, so I'm going to say that that's not true, but I also never know anything, so there's that.
Well, it's more likely than most people think to be mistyped as your activator, because the mobilizing function is one that can sometimes be so prevalent that it looks like a strong function.
I think I like people to think that I'm an SLE, but I'm really not that assertive. I just make myself seem assertive.
No, that is mobilizing functions.
I don't like admitting that, but
you.
whenever people meet me in real life, they're like, "Oh, you're way more chill than I was expecting," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't know that we were conflictors in attitudinal, psyche, or AP.
At random name, I don't type myself as anything. I just let other people type me, and whatever the general consensus of other people is of my type, I just accept that, because I feel like, I don't know, because typology is such a structured system based off of patterns. I think like when you know yourself, it's more difficult to like generalize your patterns, or at least for me, I find it difficult to like generalize the patterns of myself. So I think it's more helpful to have other people look at, I don't know.
That sounds like suggestive TI.
Yeah, exactly. If you when it comes to an IEI, if you type an IEI different to what they expect, they'll say no, and they'll ensure they lead you on the journey to finally recognizing the truth that they are in fact the IEI. Or whatever.
Jack made a really good comment the other day when we were talking, where I've been in the Socionics community for like 6 years, and I'm still not confident in saying what my type is. I don't think an SLE would feel like that, but I don't know. What do I know?
But Liz, how are you at typing other people?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm good, I think, intuitively, but I don't have any reasoning for it ever. So I'm like, this doesn't feel right, or this doesn't. Like, I don't know.
Do you vibe type?
I vibe type. I don't
vibe.
type any. Like, I'm not someone that like, I don't claim to know anything about typology, even though I've been in the community for a while. It's kind of just like,
Liz,
I'm kind of in the background.
I've noticed it's something ethical types tend to do.
I don't think that's true at all.
Well, they tend to like go off of like impressions of people, but don't necessarily like go off of like reason purely. It's a pattern generally that I've noticed, because they can like sense, like I can't sense people very well, or like people's qualities. I have to like put everything in a box, because
But aren't you like literally making an
aware.
assumption about people right now?
No, I'm just going off of an observation. I'm not saying it's like
you're going off of an observation
across
about
the
people.
board.
And then you're saying that you're
No.
not good at dealing with people or like having assumptions about people when you're literally doing that right now. Literally doing that right now. Do you want me to throw something at you, Clayton?
So, Symmetric likes Malik's home decor. Did you pick that out yourself, Malik?
Oh,
I like your
no.
home decor.
Wow, thank you.
Is it
But
your
this
parents'
is
house?
Yeah, I'm here for Christmas, but I'm packing up to leave for January. I think it's January. So I have a lot to pack though, but who cares?
I hate packing. It's a pain.
I know, it's so annoying because I have to take like I take like an hour break. I would take I would pack for like 20 minutes and then I would take a nap. And then I'll get back up and I'll pack again.
I pack at the last possible minute.
Yeah, it's really
Me
annoying.
too.
I pack for him.
I just am like, I can't be bothered to not be with my stuff for 3 days, so I'm just going to pack at the last minute.
Same.
I tend to pack way too
packing
much.
for like holidays or packing for
No, I lived in
moving?
Melbourne. I lived in Melbourne for a year, and the 3 hours before my flight, I packed everything up and went back home to London. It was only 3 hours, and then my suitcase was broken, so I had to go and rush to buy another one. So I just didn't leave at any time at all. I just leave everything to the last minute.
Me too. Oh my gosh. it's
Even though I
don't know what I do.
I would do things at the last minute, even though I would do things at the last minute, I would still plan it out. Like it's just
I plan it out in my
it's like,
head, but I kind of like the
Yeah.
pressure. I don't know. I really like the pressure. I enjoy it. I don't know why.
I don't know if I like the pressure or not. It's just like there's pressure, then I'll get it done, and then after there's nothing else, then I'll just go and lounge around another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
tend to-
like it or dislike it.
I tend to be more productive when there's pressure applied, like when I'm working against deadlines. But I have a hard time disciplining myself. It's awful.
Yeah,
Me too.
I think that's a pretty like human thing. I would
Jack,
say.
take time.
Yeah, guys, make money. Be the WSS like supermodel couple. You have to like take photo shoots every week, and then you have to post.
Like that much spotlight.
That sounds like a good idea, actually.
I don't know if that's true, but I mean,
I discovered the secret of getting your packing done or unpacking done.
there's a
How?
secret to packing. Who knew?
You have to put on some
I have a
headphones.
very good method of fitting everything in the bag.
Oh.
I just cram everything in the bag.
You
I don't-
roll clothes. Roll it.
Oh god.
It makes more space.
Jack, give us the information.
Oh, you put on headphones and you turn on your favorite audiobook and listen to that.
No, I just listen to music.
Music.
Or you just don't make an event out of it, and you just throw everything in a bag and then just leave.
You could
There's
do
that
that.
too.
You could do
But
that.
the
Then you're
TSA guidelines, though, like if you're
yeah.
flying, you
What?
have to think about it.
What?
True.
Why?
At
Wait,
least
what?
in the States. I don't know if it applies other places.
What guideline? What do you mean?
Like, so like I'm cheap and I have to like, I don't like paying for extra bags if I don't have to. So especially if I'm only staying a short period of time somewhere, I'm like thinking of vacations mainly, but like they'll charge you extra if you have a certain amount and such. If you have more than one, you have to have like one full-size luggage bag and then you can take one carry-on. But if you and different airlines have different like rules for how much they'll charge you and such. But they also have rules on the amount of liquids you can take and all that. It's a pain.
This is completely unrelated, but Jack, Zara's getting us some cake. If you want some, let us know now.
Is it panettone?
I think so.
She just wants everyone to see me eat cake on live stream.
She did that on purpose.
I vote yay.
Because she knows that you can't help yourself and you're going to want to eat it right
She
now.
knows I can't help myself, and she knows everyone's going to watch me stuffing my face with panettone.
Well, I
think
food.
that by this time, like during the whole month, I've eaten what amounts to a whole panettone.
Yeah. It's going to become some sort of meme at some point. Make Jack eat things on live stream.
Let's do it. A weekly thing.
Do
and
it.
then you have like a voting section where like, what's Jack gonna eat this week?
Yeah,
and we all vote for something really disgusting and then watch
WSS mukbang.
Yep. It'll turn into Fear
gotta...
Factor. WSS Fear
ASMR.
Factor.
Oh my god, I was thinking that same
I've
thing.
got a very good microphone. We can do ASMR.
No, I will. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing ASMR. No.
You have to.
You ever thought about doing ASMR, Jack? Do you have a very relaxing voice when you whisper? You try whispering into your mic.
I'd have like a tagline: "We'll masticate for money."
Oh my
you
god!
You have to have the mic to where we can hear like every sound, like like when you're drinking, when you're eating. Like we have to hear every.
No.
That's how most things work.
No, I don't care how most things work. We're not doing that.
I was actually going to do ASMR for a bit in the summer.
Oh, it stresses me out so much. It makes me want to throw up every time I hear it. Oh.
Mine was going to be for children with special needs. I was going to do like reading like little fairy tale stories.
Now you make me feel like an asshole. You're like, oh, I want to throw up every time I hear it. And then you're like, I'm going to read little nice stories for children with special needs. I'm like, okay, well, I guess you can do that then. That's fine.
Someone says that you should become a model on Instagram because you're an SME.
That was a joke, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. When was this? I was at a chili eating contest, and no one
It was chili, not hot dog, right?
Yeah,
I would like to
no
ask
one wants to see that video. No one ever wants to see that video. Never
I do.
You came
I've
up.
seen it. I'd like to see it again.
Now I want to see it
No one needs to
though.
see. No one needs to see
Jack
it.
came up against.
Why?
How about this, Jack? I don't want to see it. It's fine. I will live my
No,
life.
I kind of want to see it now.
No one needs to see this.
You didn't win.
It doesn't exist anymore. It never existed, in fact. It was a different Jack Aaron was in that video.
I feel like if I ever did ASMR videos, I would purposely make it really disgusting and horrible so that I could like.
There's probably more money in that.
Maybe.
I've seen that happen.
You can find
I
your
would do
niche.
something. I'd do something like the
that's
bread
what
face
people
girl,
do.
where the girl like puts her face in the bread. I think it's hilarious. It's just making fun of. I don't know. There's this girl that like makes a lot of money off of filming herself putting her face in bread. Like different breads and cakes. She literally just like stuffs her face in it. She doesn't eat it. She just rubs her face all in it.
There's a YouTube channel where a guy takes a bite out of an onion every day. And he's going to do this until the new Shrek movie comes out.
Oh
That
my
sounds
god.
like some content I would
I've seen
subscribe.
that.
I would also subscribe to that because Shrek is life.
I've noticed that I don't really care about movies that much. Like
Good for
I
you,
need
but
something
Shrek
that
is life. We don't care how little you care about movies. You want to talk about Shrek right now, okay?
No, like I need.
Has
I need
anybody
I
else
need
heard
to
about
binge watch. I don't.
the new Wonder Woman that came out apparently?
No, we're talking about Shrek.
I-
Just joking.
The reason why I don't care for like movies is because I can't binge watch them.
Go to the live stream.
Like I need to watch like a whole season in a day.
To feel right.
Yeah.
I get that too. I don't like how in movies you can't go too detailed in each character and really get attached to them.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Not attached, but like a little invested.
Pretty much.
No.
Huh?
I know people are going crazy in the comments about this video. It's not a good video. It's very boring. All that happens is I eat too many chilies and I vomit this red fountain on the floor.
What do you mean not very much happens? That's absolutely
Now I
disgusting.
really want to see it. This is why everybody wants to see it.
I don't want to see this.
It's just me crouching in the corner while Zara fetches me milk. It's not exciting.
That,
Well, now you have to
I've
post
been
it,
named
Jack.
that already. Can you give me permission? Just so that I can share it.
I will never officially sanction this move, but I cannot really punish the group.
Okay.
I imagine it's not very difficult to find.
Hi, Garrett.
Interested, guys. Like, how interested are is everyone in like AP or Attitude?
I just started getting into it.
I like AP.
I'm into it.
I can see how
What type is this?
certain differences between people of the same type, but I also think it could be used to smudge over a lot of mistypes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't think it's something to like look into. Like, I use it as two different systems. I don't use it like, you know how some people are like, oh, I'm an IEI, but I'm an 8, so that's why I'm this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When literally there doesn't make sense to like go after one description that's like opposing to another description. I think it's more helpful to look at it's more helpful to look at the theories as two separate things rather than like melting them together.
I agree, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like you can look at the correlations later after you have all the separate results, but not at the same time.
Look at her tree! It's so cute!
Does that tree have COVID as well?
Enhance the festivities.
That tree has
Send
COVID.
into the astral realm.
Astral what realm? Hi, Garrett.
Yeah, like,
Hey,
every
I
time,
don't know who
like,
said
someone-
that though.
Oh, hello, Garrett.
Me, hi.
Oh, hey.
Every
How's it going,
time
everyone?
someone like enters and leaves the chat, like my stream buffers, and so I have to leave and then come back again.
Well, I'd like to personally apologize for that in that case.
No, you're fine. It's not really your fault.
It's your fault, actually. You just need a better computer.
True.
Our
Well, this
service
is my
sucks,
phone.
yeah. My audio buffers too. You're not the only one.
But she's not wrong. So.
Garrett, what type are you?
Jack, what type am I? Have we decided yet?
I think we eventually got to being some sort of delta. I think if you are a delta, definitely delta introvert, in which case probably SLI, but I'm still open to EII as well.
Yeah, I think that's what we were.
Yeah.
That's where we were last time I checked. I don't know what my results were on the latest survey, but I put in the answers.
Exactly. And I think I need a little bit more SLI. I think we were discussing sensing and logic versus intuition and logic. Yeah.
I could definitely see SLI.
Because I'm so chill.
Oh, Zadaxter is joining. That'll be fun. Now add up.
Who is that?
Now, boost more of a beta. He's an EIE. And also he says that I should do a live stream with Rob and Kat. I'm very open to this. I think it's certainly about time we had an attitudinal psyche or psyche yoga live stream.
Are they free right now? Are they free right now? Then tell them to join if they're free.
That'd be really interesting, actually.
Yeah, we can talk about this right now.
I know Kat's not online at the moment, but
I'm
very open to doing it in the near future. Definitely.
I missed Kat. I need to join her server later again.
Does anybody have contact with Rob? Maybe somebody could message Rob right now.
Yeah, I could always send him a link.
Yeah.
What I do know is that I've seen Psyche Yoga, the other name for attitudinal psyche, used in conjunction with Socionics to really smudge typing.
Yeah, I don't think Rob is online.
You could easily say that Liz is, maybe she actually is an IEI, but she's got logic in the fourth position.
I do have logic in the fourth position.
Now, I think someone could use that to smudge your typing as something other than Enneagram.
Actually, Clayton and I are AP duals, so, and we're like the most rare.
Clayton and I are AP identicals.
You're LF.
So then you and I are AP duals.
Cool.
But there's one thing about AP that I think is really valuable. If you take Liz and Kat, both EIEs, Kat is 2L and Liz is 4L, and you can clearly see a difference in what they do with logical information. There's clearly a big difference there.
I am much more receptive. I'm like, tell me what the answer is. And she's very much like, it could be this, it could be that. And I'm like, I just want the truth.
Yeah, if you want the result.
The truth, I want this.
Yes.
But I also do think that Enneagram can kind of explain differences that I like. If you look at like Carla and Kat versus myself and like Thor, where like Thor and I are both Enneagram 7s, whereas Kat's a 1 and Carla's a 6. So I think it's like, I don't know. There's definitely some differences because of that.
Exactly. I think Enneagram and Psyche Yoga are both theories which have considerable overlap with Socionics, but they have enough different content being covered that you can't be entirely absorbed within Socionics at the moment. And so, as a result, I wouldn't treat it as entirely separate systems either. Like, if you do that, then that can start justifying weird smudge typings. Instead of
I think that when you mold them together, that's more when you'd have smudge typings, wouldn't it be? Like if it's entirely separate, isn't that better?
Well, what I mean is you can work out the types in the separate systems and don't use one result to justify a weird typing.
Y'all are making me hungry.
Zara just came in up to the door.
There's a chance you could send Zara over here, actually. I'm sort of paving into the cake.
Just yell.
Wait, can I see it again?
Yeah.
Zara, I want cake, please.
I'm hungry.
There's chocolate on the
Guess
front.
I'm gonna bring my.
It looks so good.
The WSS food. Shut
up. Maybe she can hear me.
Even the bird likes the cake. You can hear it tweeting in the background.
She knows where I am, so she wants to bring me cake.
Why doesn't she join?
Does anyone know what type?
What type? What?
Cyphertrix, the commenter.
Ooh, I wonder if Laura's online.
There's someone who's commenting.
I think she's probably with her kid.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she left a while ago.
Aw.
She said something about her daughter. I don't know.
Cyphertrix. Someone wants to know what your type is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you? Do I know you? I don't know why that's relevant. It's not relevant.
Yeah.
Why are we making this about food now?
I don't know. Well, just because being handed around the house, and I want some.
No, but now Alvaro went to go get food. Garrett, you're not allowed to drink. We're not allowed to drink right now. There's no eating or drinking.
I mean, to be fair,
oh my god, I could.
In my house, there's a gingerbread house.
Would it totally be not kosher if I like drink alcohol on live stream?
You can.
Oh,
there were drugs on this channel before. We've had at least one person on pot during a diagnostic interview.
Were they like just high or were they smoking?
I'm pretty sure Eric was on something when you had a debate with him too.
Oh yes, there was also that. He was definitely on something then. No, it was someone else had just had it before an interview. So we've had people under the influence before. I didn't know at the time, but I in this particular live stream, I really don't mind. There's no diagnostics going on, so I don't know. Oh, and Spacey was drunk during his interview with me. Thanks, Spacey.
Spacey? Is that Spacey?
Wait, Spacey was drunk during his interview with you?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm assuming NYC means.
I do not condone any sort of doing a diagnostic interview under the influence. I don't condone it at all.
I'm a control freak, so I don't like drinking. Not that that's relevant.
I can
but-
see how that could mess with the results. Yeah.
Spacey's defending himself in the comments.
Oh, we just had a slight buzz. Okay. Look, if it's just a bit of Dutch courage, okay. I understand. It's very scary being on a diagnostic interview for some people.
No, it's for some people.
You're
You're sweet. I just shame everyone. I'm like, there's nothing to be scared of. It's literally just a camera. Get over it. Be an adult.
It's hard to introspect.
Hey, Cystrix said I'm the king. Thanks, Cystrix. I am the king.
Love it.
But that's the point Liz made about ASMR, and it makes me want to throw up.
Don't want to go back there.
No, but I just wanted to say that I've only ever heard that from people with inert sensation. It doesn't have to be vulnerable. It could also be leading, but I've never seen it in a creative or suggestive function position. I've only ever seen it in a leading, mobilizing, or vulnerable position.
I really hate it. Like, it's actually disgusting.
Wait, what have you only seen in the leading, mobilizing, and vulnerable?
A hatred of ASMR, but also a hatred of certain small sounds and things like that, which really tick people off. Like my sister, who actually really likes ASMR, the EIE one, she hates it when she hears me eating because she feels like eating loud.
I can't listen to ASMR
But Jack,
with people
she
eating.
sits next to me and I hear her eating in my ear all the time. Her and Mum are the two EIE loudest eaters ever.
What's up? Hello.
Hello.
I love ASMRs. I find them hilarious.
Maybe I'm wrong. I have to be wrong. But yeah,
I can't get into ASMR.
I think this is the Eiley strategy. Whenever someone shifts out, an Eiley jumps in to take the slot.
It's because you guys are parasites.
Wow. You know what?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not.
I approve of this message. We are parasites. I am a psychic
So-
vampire.
Random name 2298 has a good question. So,
Okay,
wouldn't someone's drunk persona? Okay, this.
No, not necessarily. I don't think.
It really depends on the person, and there's too many variables,
Like
how much they drink and such.
I've once tried to type a friend who was drunk, and she was like, I was asking her questions, and she was just like, I don't know. So, not necessarily. It depends on how drunk they are, at least
Yeah,
in
and they have to
my
know their
one
limit.
experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot more SE when I'm drunk personally, but that might just be me.
I don't think I have a drunk persona. If anything, I become a bit more boring than I already am.
I get really anxious.
Really?
Yeah, the only difference I can probably notice is that my coordination goes. So if I'm more likely, if I'm trying to shake your hand, I may overreach and stroke your face. But other than that, I don't think there's a real difference. Nara once said that I can become a sad drunk if I'm very.
Me too. I mostly just get really anxious, which is really weird because alcohol calms most people down. But when I drink, I low key have panic attacks. Sometimes high key.
After a certain point of drinking, I don't know, say a glass of wine, I'll start to relax a little bit. But if I drink, I don't know, too many different types of alcohols, don't mix your liquors, guys. I've made this mistake before. But if I drink too much past a certain point, I'll get really depressed. So it kind of goes in phases.
It's a depressant, so it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Carol. So she says, or hey, I think sober people often thinks that Socionics is some kind of magic. It's better to introduce them after some alcohol. This, I think it might be true.
I didn't know what you said, and I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
You were just saying that you have to get people drunk and for them to buy Socionics is what that comment was saying. He was explaining that comment.
I mean, this is why drunk people spend so much at bars. You get them in a good mood, and that's like, you know, that's how bartenders get tipped, basically, a lot of the time.
Also alcoholism. That helps.
Yeah.
Well, actually, alcoholism does not help tips. Alcoholism takes away tips. It's not the alcoholics that give the tips, that's for sure. There's something alcohol.
I guess I was just talking about getting people to bars if they're alcoholics.
I gave up on getting the cake because I found the remaining wall of the gingerbread house. I'm just having a gingerbread house.
Why not have both?
Oh, that looks so good.
There's more left.
Not anymore.
No. Not anymore.
Break off a piece for her and go put it under the door.
Who?
Your sister. Go upstairs.
This is the last piece left.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like the same size as your head. Share it with her.
Never mind.
Yeah, the 5-second rule doesn't matter when you're.
Do I have to share it?
Yeah, you have to share it.
How?
Do you really have to?
Yeah, look at her. Look at how sweet she is. She wants some cookies.
But she's already eating cake.
She's already
No, I
eating
don't
cake.
need it. I just had some white chocolate.
Could you explain the logistics of sharing the cookies or whatever that is?
But Bella, do you really want it?
I don't need it. I cake and chocolate.
You don't need it. It's for your own good. It's for your own good.
I'd like some more
Save you from lockdown cause obesity.
But what if she wants cookies tomorrow or the next day and you just ate it all right now?
I mean, but wouldn't it be still
At the end of the day, Bella and Daniel need to be an Instagram couple and need to protect their waistlines. So I think
monitoring
by finishing off the gingerbread house. I think
Well,
that makes sense.
actually, I have dropped like 3 kilos during quarantine, so maybe I do disturb some of them so I can get in line with gaining weight. You know,
I
I'm
actually
supposed
lost
to gain
weight during
weight.
quarantine too.
Maybe
ironically.
I should get one of those.
Thanks for the shout out, Spacey.
Can we
I got
take
another
down
king
that
comment.
random name comment? That's annoying me. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I'll get rid of it.
Thanks.
You don't like this
the comment that's on screen.
I don't know why it was annoying me. It's just there. I didn't know why it was there. I was trying to exit out of it and I couldn't.
We've got a question.
Oh, where?
Zodaxa.
Oh, there we go.
Bella's taught
Daniel
me.
was a very quick learner. He learned very quickly.
I knew about MBTI before Socionics, but Bella introduced me to Socionics, and I've spoken to Jack about it as well. Yeah, I'm ILE. I think I'm ILE anyway.
You are.
Okay, I am.
You are.
There's no question about it.
You are.
Nope.
It's an accusation.
Live up to your title.
Yeah, so
you were
I
born
don't
for
think
this role.
our relationship would be how it is if he wasn't an ILE.
The difference is Bella can rope him to his live stream. I can't. I can't rope Zara into my life.
she'll be coming. She'll be coming. Bella's
Yeah,
spoken to
no,
her.
she said that she will. She's been watching something.
Oh yeah, no, she's watching.
Jack?
I don't like the TV show she's watching. I think it's very historically inaccurate and it irritates me.
What TV show is it?
What are they watching?
It's what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it has a Duke of Hastings in it, and Hastings is not the sort of place you'd have a duke for.
Oh.
So it's by your principles, you're not watching it.
No, I don't support 40 dukedoms.
Inaccuracy ruins everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't take it
Oh my
seriously
God.
if it's a duke of some place which it's not the sort of place you'd have a duke. A duke would be the duke of somewhere important and big like a city, not Hastings. Hastings where the battle was fought. You don't tend to have battles deliberately fought in the middle of important places like cities.
I don't know why, but like whenever someone gives me like inaccurate information, I feel betrayed. I said whenever someone gives me inaccurate information, I feel betrayed.
That's your lack of understanding of intention, then.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jack, message Rob the link. He said he would join.
Okay, I messaged him. Where is he?
Someone said, Judy, where are you? Oh no.
Okay, now my computer's being slow.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Cypherix.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Why are you saying sorry?
Because they said it's my fault that they're hungry.
They just want
What?
someone else to blame. Make them take their own responsibility.
Shame on you.
You make your own decisions, Cypherix. Don't put it on. Why do I always feel so protective over SEIs? They just seem so sweet, and I'm like, I have to protect all of them. Don't make them feel bad, or I will make you feel bad.
The only place I don't need protection is in the kitchen.
You need protection in the kitchen?
No, that's the only place I don't need protection.
Oh, okay. That's the place I need protection.
And Bella is a tiger in the kitchen.
Yeah, she turns. What do you turn into? Like an SLE or something?
I'm not an SLE. I'm never an SLE.
In the kitchen.
No, I become more ESE-ish. Just I'm very protective of the fridge and the way things are made and cooked. So, yeah.
I
get
open the
bossy.
cupboard. I open the cupboard to get cookies, and then I close the cupboard, and Bella's looking at me from the other side of the cupboard. It just appears out of nowhere, and she asked me, "How many cookies?"
No, that's Liv. Because Liv has to hide all her food because you eat it all.
Oh my god. I would actually get so mad at you.
Whenever she buys something new, she preemptively tells me, "This is mine. You have no claim over it." She got a peach drink. So this is my peach drink, not
Peach
your
drink or a massive Galaxy bar.
Yeah, I think someone
I just would honestly, I would get a fridge in my room and I would keep all my shit in there and not let you touch any of it. I get like weirdly territorial about my shit. I want other people touching my shit.
Yeah, my dad is like that. He was like, he was telling me that he was gonna give me a mini fridge, and I was like, I don't need it. He's like, yeah, you do need it. I was like, I don't need it. Because I don't mind sharing my things with other people. But for some reason...
I hate sharing, but I'm also an only child, so...
Yeah, my dad hates sharing too, but he's a LIE.
Yeah, sharing.
I mean, okay, I like forcefully sharing things, so like, if you take stuff of mine when I don't want you to take it, I get really mad, but then if you don't take stuff of mine when I really want you to take it, I also get really mad.
I get really, like... I offer my food to everyone, but then I'm secretly thinking, please don't take it, I want it all to myself.
Someone just tried to join me. Now I've kicked the people who aren't talking. They wanted to join just before.
What was that?
Someone wanted to join, but they couldn't, so now I just kicked 2 people out because they weren't talking. So now they can join.
At first I wasn't talking, but now I am. What's this?
So you're saying we have to talk to maintain our place in the chat, Jack, right?
Well, as in, if you turned off the camera and the microphone, then yeah, I'm liable to kick.
Got it. So
They need to be active in here.
I'm probably like second from the last list of people who are going to get kicked out.
Not right now. You're not. You're at the top right now.
Top of people. Wait, I'm at the top. I'm saying that there's somebody up here who's not going to get kicked out at all. That's Jack, and I'm at the bottom.
No, you're not, because you're now interacting as of right now.
As of right, yes. As of this point, as long as I'm talking, I'm at the top. But if somebody talks over me, then I guess I see what you're saying now.
I don't say anything else.
There's a 3-tier hierarchy. The person who aren't interacting, doing anything, they can get kicked. Then there's most people, and as long as they are talking, they'll stay in. And then there's me, and it doesn't matter what I do, I can't get kicked because I'm in first.
That sounds like a challenge.
Jessica.
What, a challenge? Is it a challenge to himself that he just made? What is that?
You can say the most words within 5 minutes.
Won't let me.
Click on it.
No, Jack is the only one.
Jack, can you please click on Jessica's comment so that we can address it?
Yes.
Scythe, I gotta find this
I'm
thing.
not EII.
Give him
That's my other
hugs.
sister.
Yeah.
This is the most positive validation I've received in a while. Thanks, Scythe. I appreciate it.
Bella's the SCI.
Is Bella the one that you thought that was potentially ESI for a little bit, like a while ago? Or is that the EII?
That was Amy. Amy is more aggressive than the EII stereotype.
I think I've been a pretty obvious SEI since I was a child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, Jack, what age did you know that I was SEI or ISF, whatever?
Soon after you could string sentences together.
What?
I think soon after you could string sentences together.
After I could string sentences together?
Soon after.
So what age is that?
Like 4?
16.
Oof. Oh.
That's rude.
No, honestly, when I remember, what year did I tell you what type you were?
I remember being about 15 or 16 and you said that I was, I think I asked you because I didn't know anything that you were doing. I didn't know what it meant or anything. And then you said I was an ISFP. But now I think I'm ISFP. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was, we knew your Myers-Briggs potential type, but I wasn't quite sure of the Socionics type until I'd given it more thought.
I just remember you telling me that I wasn't old enough yet.
Yeah, I remember you were a bit too young for me to really, because you weren't presenting your ideas about yourself consistently.
How old are you now, Bella?
Pardon?
How old are you now?
I'm 21.
Okay.
Oh, same as me.
Cool. I'm 22. Oh, Taylor's keys in Taylor's song.
Hey Rob, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
I thought it was
Yes.
What's up, Rob?
Your mic is a little unreliable.
Rob.
I think the conversation moved towards attitudinal psyche. So, as Liz's idea, I think a very good idea, we could bring you on to talk a bit about attitudinal psyche.
I don't think it was my idea.
That's her
I think I
idea.
just made it happen. I don't think it was my idea at all. I think I was just the one that messaged her off.
No, I was just saying, like, it was multiple people's ideas. Like, I think it was more like we came together.
I think Leah said it first, but anyways. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I suggested somebody message Rob.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got, Rob, what's your attitudinal psyche? I know you're an STE in sociology.
Rob? He's EVLF.
Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. I'm having technical issues.
No, I can.
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm EVLF and SEE and Socionics.
Oh, that sounds hot. Oh, and could you explain 1F? Ow!
Can I explain 1F?
F1?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah. 1F is just people that are very confident in their physical surroundings. They don't have to have like high aptitude or anything. They don't have to be like an SI valuer in Socionics. However, when you do come to the subject of the physical realm, or everything that is an object in our universe, the materialism, they have a confident attitude. So they're positive over their self and negative towards others. And you'll see that play out in everything they communicate. It's really a theory about communication at its core.
Yeah.
What's attitudinal?
Attitudinal psyche is another theory which people often use alongside socionics.
Alongside Model A.
Sorry.
It's like another theory which I think has some overlap, but there are also some differences, and it can be handy for telling apart certain permutations of people of the same type. It can be handy to point out certain differences. So I think a good difference, for instance, is that although in socionics I'd be logic in my creative function, when it comes to psyche yoga or attitudinal psyche, I'd be logic first. And what that would explain for me is that I'm quite a bit more sure and certain in my logical positions and can be a bit more of a leader in terms of making that sort of thing happen, putting across my ideas very quickly and very certainly. Whereas when it comes to what they call volition or willpower, that would be in the second position for me. So I'm very good at, well, helping others and bringing out their volition, their empowerment, as it were, and also being able to take plenty of responsibility myself and being comfortable with that. That's an example where I may be a bit different to some other ILEs who, well, what would you say? What would you say is the most standard ILE psyche yoga?
Weirdly enough, I would say 1E. Most ILEs are 1E. I don't know why. They tend to cluster on 1E. They kind of just get their emotions out in a way and are confident about it and move on. I found a lot of ILEs are EFLV, weirdly enough, which would actually be your conflicting type in AP. But they're all over the board. I mean, they cluster around certain types, but they can really be, as far as I've seen, any attitude can go in any position from what I've seen. But in general, 1E, I mean, there's a lot of 2L ILEs, which looks very different from you because they're more interested in communicating with others in logic, and they want the constant back and forth, the constant journey through logic. There's no monologuing happening. It's just always back and forth and developing the point as you talk about the point. Whereas you come in and it's more of a monologue at first. It's like, well, here's the point that I have. If somebody else has a point, that's great, but we're trying to build the thing brick by brick through communication rather than it being an ever evolving thing.
Is there a difference between attitudinal? I mean, is there a similarity between attitudinal psyche and psychosophy?
They're the same for the most part. Like because there's the Russians, and the Russians all have different ideas of how it looks in the world. But what I would say is that all of our theory in general looks back at the exact same thing. We're all looking at positive and negative disposition over the four aspects. I mean, that's what it all evolves from. Now, some of them will really be influenced by behavior and how they think that the types show themselves. But I try to dig more into the intent. So I'll ask somebody how they're perceiving something when I'm typing them, and then I'll use that for research purposes. So just the way that we type tends to be a little different. Now, I'm sure there is offshoots of people that have made it completely different, and some people even say that I do that. But in general, no, I would say that the base of the theories are the same, and it's quite simple at its core.
The basis? So the basis is the same. I was also asking more about whether or not you call them the four attitudes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're the same.
Okay, got it.
Both, yeah. So if you're talking, when the Russians talk about volition, they're still talking about responsibility, willpower, higher concepts of humanity, anything like that.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out Zara. I definitely think she's F1. not so sure about the others yet. E2. F1
Does
E2.
everybody know their AP type here?
I do.
No, not at
I'm
all.
FLEV.
FLVE.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. So 2 ILEs, but FLVE and LVEF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm close to you, Jack. Well, I think I've got it nailed down to LFVE. I'm definitely 3V, and I'm pretty sure 4E. So.
Yeah, I'm 3E, so I'm insecure about emotions.
So what does the F look like when it's higher up for an ILE?
It's like I'm trying to think of one that I know. Hold on. I actually don't know many that are like 1F, but the 2F ILEs are kind of a little spastic about what they're doing. They can get very task oriented, and they'll want to talk to you about just all the ways that they're enjoying their lives. Like, I don't know, they'll take you on like their workout routine, or how they'll count their calories and want to tell you all about it. They'll buy some new watch and want to, go over the details of what the watch is all about. But it's expansive still. They're still looking at the possibilities and relating it to other things, but it's about the real world object. So
why would anyone want to do that? Like,
but
I think I would like.
For me, it's my fashion interests.
I mean, like, I pretty much don't want to share that with anyone, but I would want to talk about the concept behind it, or just like elaborate, like, I guess like I don't know, just like the concept behind it, and like how you could use it in many different ways. But and sometimes like I would rather like hear like the opinions of like other people or like what they think about it, but it's usually like, okay, like I have my own opinion about it, and I'm just gonna settle it there. But I mean, I'm still open. It's just I still have my own opinion about it.
Yeah, that sounds one-off. Yeah, let's see how that's like closed off. It's more closed off and like gets to the point about physics rather than wanting to explore it constantly.
I'm just gonna put it out there and say I have no idea what you're talking about.
It is a different system. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what makes a data point one system or another system.
What do the numbers represent? Is that the closer it is to one, the more you show it, or
like MBTI?
No, when you're saying 1F, 2F.
Yeah.
What is F? What is
I guess.
So F is physics. It's there's actually like there's an encapsulation is what I call it, but it's think of it as like a circle or like a nesting doll. You know how you open a nesting doll and another one comes out, another one comes out. So the very basic one is physics, and that's kind of like the building materials of reality. It's everything you can see, touch, taste, smell, sense, whatever you want to call it. That would be referring to F, or physics, foundation. And then the next one up is going to be logic. So logic is how we compare and contrast or put something into a true or false state of all the objects that surround us. So that's logic. So anything that you're turning into a logical, you're surmising logically, or your mathematics, science, the search for truth, that's all encapsulated under L. But it has that F within it, theoretically. And then the next rung out is going to be emotions. So that's how everything affects us, how we express the value that we have towards others. Just anything in the emotional realm will be E. And then the highest order is what I like to refer to it as is volition. And it encapsulates everything. So it's all your like your responsibility, power, force. I mean, SE is kind of encapsulated within that. Any like higher order human concept like peace or communications, anything like that, that's all volition as well. So it kind of creates a weird dynamic because even when you're talking about volition, it still has everything else within it that comes together to emerge as volition. So the problem will be people don't know where their volition is at because it'll look like every other aspect is in that position. So the first position is confident. That's what you feel confident in. You know how to deal with it. You express yourself easily within that concept. The second position is flexible, and it's where you like to communicate. You're positive towards other people. You like it to be a journey, like an ever-flowing river. Your third position is going to be insecure, and it's where you're very negative. You're unsure. It's something that plagues your mind, and you kind of have like a drawbridge. You can open it or close it, depending on what information you want to let in. So it's very picky. And then your fourth position is going to be like a sponge, where once you're filled up with enough information of that particular thing, you're done. It's like, okay, I don't want any more of that. I understand how it works. Let's move on, so that you can deal with the first, second, and third attitude. You can put more of your mental or psychic energy, as I call it in Russian, towards those first three. So that's kind of how the order goes, and you just plug each one into that. But anyway, the point of me saying that is a lot of people don't understand where their volition falls, because volition has all of those other concepts built into it theoretically. They'll think that wherever their volition is at, they'll think everything is there. For instance, I'm an EVLF. I have 2V. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I do seem second emotions. I can really like cater to other people's emotions. I feel like I can take care of what other people are thinking and really like handle the mood. And then sometimes I think I'm 2L, like, oh wow, I can teach people things. I can explain to them. I mean, what am I doing now? I'm explaining these concepts out to others. And then sometimes I feel 2F. I can share my resources. I feel as though I can always discuss how things look and their aesthetics. And all of that is because I'm 2V. And 2V encapsulates all those other things. So really, we're just looking at a higher order, a higher magnitude of something. And that'll happen with everyone. Like a 3V will think they're 3 everything. A 4V will think they're 4 everything. So in reality, that becomes the most important attitude, what I found in my research out of all of them.
Would you say that like this, like depending on where V is, 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's kind of like how the person sees themselves most, potentially?
Well, it has an element of that. It becomes a little more complex with that. It's kind of like where we start on our journey of anything new or anything novel we get into, we will start in that volition position. So that's why 4Vs are often stereotypically described as lazy, because their first reaction to anything new is like, I don't even want to deal with that. That's 4V. 3V is like neurotic when they start something new. 2V is like, hey, let's do it. This is exciting. I want to get down to it and do this new thing. And then 1V is like, you know what? I'm already awesome at it. Like I can do it in 1 second. I don't need anyone's help. So that it's always like that beginning part of a journey for somebody's attitude. It's not like their behavior might not even line up with it, but you can see it in their attitude and how they're perceiving it when you start to ask them questions about it.
There's so many overlaps between the people.
My problem is
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, my problem is I don't want to do almost anything.
That sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
4V.
I didn't mean to come out like that. It's just, I don't know.
You're 4V, right, Malik?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's typical. I hear that all the time from 4Vs.
I mean, but I end up doing it, and it turns out well. It's just I just don't want to do it until I have to.
That makes me think Zara's probably in the third position. I think she gets sort of worried when she starts something new, and she feels it becomes something very uncertain to her in terms of what it's going to be like. So she tries to start something new, and then she can get spooked. But if something new is brought to her suddenly, well, depends what it is. If it's like a new TV show, she has to be slowly dipped into it and eventually adjust and becomes okay with it. And it's sort of like, oh, I'm not sure. Oh. Yeah,
I like trying new things, and I often want to try new things, but I'm very neurotic about what I should be trying and what I should be prioritizing and what I should be getting done and how much. I'm very neurotic about my productivity, and I always am insecure about making decisions.
Yeah, that's 3V. And the behavior might be different, Jack. So sometimes, the behavior, it just emerges differently, but it sounds like the attitude may actually be 3V, when you're in reference to Zara. It's just, her behavior might be more, I like to say that some people are very reactive when it comes to the behavior, and other people are more dormant, and they kind of keep it in.
And also, like, isn't it 3V versus 4V in general? Would how they react to somebody giving, lecturing them on V things? Like, when people tell me what to do and what I should be doing, and they're constantly criticizing me, I get very angry and irritated and insecure.
Yeah, that's the rejection.
What makes me,
That's a rejection of 1V, and it's kind of where the conflicting positions come into play. So 4V kind of needs that because they know they are perceived as lazy. They know that they don't want to do the thing. So when somebody comes along that can just give them a good guideline and let them know like how to do it, it's easier. But a 3V doesn't really want that because they're already worried and they're already judging themselves. So they don't really want the 1V to come along and do that.
Anybody calls me lazy, no. It's not gonna be a good time. I can deal with other people's emotions just fine though. Like they can vent at me and all that as long as I'm not the subject of it. But yeah.
Well, I'm fine with other people's emotions. I just sort of distrust my own reading of emotions myself.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too.
I've been around other emotions.
I think with yeah, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I just don't understand them, like, at all. Like, I don't know the proper response to, like, when someone give, I guess, just like, I guess, like, their venting or frustrations. Like, I don't know how to respond because I don't want to say anything wrong or, I don't know.
I'm only good at giving proactive, constructive feedback and not emotional kind of guidance. But what you were saying, I think with some things I'll be 2V, but some things I'll be 3V. So it really depends. So what in what situations do I apply it to find out what I am?
Well, for Volition, the best thing for you to think about is like your startup energy. Or psychologists will sometimes refer to it as activation energy. It's kind of like what it takes for you to go from idea into action. And if that is something that's easier for you, or it's something that you believe you can do easily, you're probably going to be 2V. If it's something that you struggle with, you don't want to appear to be weak to other people because that might mean that your insecurities will show, then that's going to be 3V. So if your startup energy is like, oh God, I know that, and to answer your question a little bit, it's like anything really, literally any sort of activation energy, just doing something or being responsible for something or showing your power or just any of those higher level concepts. The period from A to B of thinking it up to actually doing it, if that feels insecure and like a negative feeling, a negative disposition, that's going to be 3V.
So is it kind of almost like determination?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So an
that's a good word for it.
LIE would be like 1V.
Not always. There's a lot of 3V LIEs. Yeah.
They're really hard workers, so they just do stuff, right?
They are, and that's behavior. So sometimes the behavior does not match the attitude. Like sometimes you'll see somebody behaving, they're so hardworking. There's a lot of 4Vs that are actually very hardworking. For instance, if you know tennis, Rafael Nadal, he's a 4V. He seems like the most hardworking person on earth. But when you look at his interviews and you see how he's perceiving reality, he has his routine, and he cannot break his routine, or else he won't do anything, and he'll tell you that. So what happens is like 4 Vs will get into a routine, and 3 Vs will not want people to see that they're insecure. So a lot of times that will affect how they behave. They don't want people to know how neurotic they actually are about their own energy and their own determination. So a lot of LIEs, they can be 3V. They're actually, their internal experience and their mental energy that they put towards these attitudes is totally different, even if they are a TE lead, you know. So what's really forcing them to do all that work is, in part, the 3V, and obviously, you know, their higher level dimensionality with TE affects it as well. But
yeah, I definitely think I'm 4V now you said that, because recently I started to increase my productivity a bit with a schedule. But if anything disrupts the schedule, I just don't end up doing any of it usually. My mental energy just gone.
Yeah, that's very common for 4Vs. And, you know, if you can get a 4V, and it's fascinating because another sports person, Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player or football player, he's another instance of a 4V. But if they can find a 1V person to look up to, they usually end up being like awesome at sports, or they'll be the best of their trade. So and if they don't, they'll end up, you know, being kind of perceived as a lazy person. So it's interesting how those work together.
Now that's very interesting, because we had a look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He's about the only footballer we did type. We typed him SCE. Now that's interesting. That's someone we type extrovert sensation lead, but actually be volition last in psyche yoga. That is an interesting correlation.
Yeah, and
yeah, Ronaldo has an incredible structure. He doesn't veer off of it.
No, never. He's just like Rafael Nadal, and I think Rafael Nadal's probably, would you say, Jack, SE in his program? I believe he is. He's probably ESI, but
now it could be we mistyped Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe.
No, I think he's SE. I would agree.
There are logical types that are like 3L and 4L too. And
Oh,
same thing with ethics that are with E.
What seems to me to be the contradiction, maybe I'm misunderstanding the words used, but when it comes to understanding of STE, one would expect someone who's very pragmatic, doesn't actually have set ways of doing things, but rather is trying to, at the best, when just improvising and chopping and changing different methods as when they see it. So if that's the case, and that's something which would go into a typing of an SCE, if that's the case, how does that then gel with the idea of someone who is very much set in their way of doing things and doesn't like a sudden change to it, which is something I would have socionically put as perhaps a focus on introverted sensation and introverted logic without, say, extroverted logic. Say
Yeah. So I think the key word there is 4Vs. It's not that they don't like it. It's just that that's not something that they pay. It's not something that they put a lot of their mental energy towards. So it's not like they're putting all their energy towards their mental energy, psychic energy. I hate using that word, but towards volition. So it's like in Socionics, I would imagine, my understanding of Socionics isn't that wonderful, but I feel like the dimensionality still remains. It's still a 4-dimensional understanding of SE. It's not like he doesn't have that. I mean, when he does get going, especially on the field, he you know, he's amazing. But it's not that he doesn't like it. It's just that, you know, he's others positive about volition. He'll look to the outside world to see his volition, and his inner world is, you know, it's more negative, and he just kind of overlooks it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that we can't. I definitely don't think we can do a 1-to-1 pairing between V and extroverted sensation. I think there is overlap. I think V is, if it's refined down to its Christmas definition, it's response to challenge or attitude towards challenge. And what does that
Isn't it
challenge
also
mean?
applying pressure? I've noticed with SE egos or people who value SE, not even just in conflict, but I've observed in like in a tangible sense, they just know how to manipulate objects. They know how to kind of like navigate like that tangible force field. I'm trying to like think of a good way to say it, but I tend to feel very weird about my surroundings and asserting myself. Like I can do it, but SE egos have much more of a grasp on how to manipulate, their body, the objects around them. They're not timid as far as like needing to get other people to do things as well, if that makes sense. So as far as like extroverted sensation, applying force, applying pressure, they can do that more naturally. And I think that's my understanding is that it's a little bit separate from volition, whereas volition is what Rob was saying, the time to basically make a decision or the time to put an idea into effect. Whereas like, TE is like getting things to work. SE is manipulating the objects.
Yeah, there is a distinction. Volition is at times all encompassing because it can also deal with your character. So a little bit of like.
Sounds like there's some aspects of NI in there too, because you're combined.
It does. There is that difficulty with V, perhaps more than the others, where because you feel that it could apply to almost everything else, one could easily pick one reason for putting V in one position, but then end up ignoring other reasons why it might be in a different position. And I think it becomes hard to really. Maybe it's a case where it's actually very hard to find someone who fits V in that position in all cases. And that's when I wonder at what point does it become, okay, how do we have a check to show that he's definitely V2 rather than V3, V4, etc.?
Yeah. It's kind of tough. I mean, the first thing that I would look for is just what people are seeing multiple aspects in, like which position. That's the dead giveaway usually at first. But to differentiate them from others, I hate to be vague about it, but it's kind of just like their sense of being, their sense of character, and identity, and like who they believe they are. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And if it's a 1V, they seem very assured in who they are and what they're capable of. If it's a 2V, they seem more flexible in that, and they can kind of lean to other people and bend to other people's will.
I don't know if you're talking about footballers like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, for example, would he be a 1V because he's very...
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. See the difference between him and
Ronaldo? Yeah, I see the difference. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Does psychosophy and attitudinal psyche come from? Not this isn't like I guess I think the temperaments kind of come from this place as well, but I think like the 4 elements. Because I looked into astrology a bit too, and that stuff seems related. That's the same stuff, kind of.
It's ancient. Oh. It's wind, water, air, fire.
It's the exact. Yeah, that's the exact. Yeah. It's
Clubs,
the exact.
Spades, hearts, diamonds. I mean, you could cut it any different way, but it is looking at that 4 different aspects of reality.
Got it. Okay. Because I was even thinking about the definitions I've come across for some of that stuff, and it seems very similar as well.
Yep. And people could even make an argument that that's what Jung was talking about too, and they could apply that to socionics, and it's just what we do with them. And psychosophy is a little bit different than what you do with them in socionics.
Yeah, because when I
think
look
the
at
archetypes throughout history have definitely crossed over a lot. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Because is somebody else talking? I can't tell. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying that because when I look at those elements, and also to an extent when I look at this, when I look at the psychosophy attitudes, yes, I see the clubs in Socionics a bit. I see like what's the body one seems like more ST, logic one seems more NT. I guess volition would be more SF. I've always seen that kind of parallel, at least in my own perspective.
Yeah, it does. And on a base level, it does. Like a shallow level, they are talking about similar things. It's just once you see what you're doing with each, that's where it changes up, and you look at a different slice of psychology.
I think what would be a very fun activity is actually mapping the different concepts in psyche yoga to the concepts in sociology to see where things do overlap. What makes me think, or the immediate thing that springs to mind when we talk about V already, is the difference between, say, a gamma extrovert versus an alpha introvert. That, of course, clearly in the case of Cristiano Ronaldo, that's not a perfect lining up. So going into detail in terms of where these concepts map and where they can't map, I think would be a useful exercise. What I would like to do in the long term is see, okay, is there a model which explains both, where those parts which do map can be reconciled together, and those parts which don't map can be added together rather than just reconciled as the same thing, and have a system that explains both together. So I think that could be better at accounting for personality differences.
Yeah, and I've kind of started to notice, I mean, obviously you do, once you start researching stuff, you just see the little parallels, but like for instance, EIEs, they come in mainly 3 different psyche yoga types. They're VELF, which is what I would call the campaigner, and then EVLF, so switch the E and the V, which is my type, that will be the catalyst, and then some of them are ELVF, which would be the poet. And then there's others that are sprinkled around, but I would say half, or a little bit over half of EIEs are going to be one of those 3 types. So they definitely cluster around each other in certain ways. However, there are bizarre ones where a certain type in Socionics can be 2 conflicting AP types, like for ILE, for instance, or a lot of IEIs. Some of them are VLEF, and then other ones are EFVL, which are conflicting types in AP. Now, when we get theoretical, there is ways that these 2 things are similar. So, you know, like the first and the third are both aggressive attitudes in AP. The second and the fourth are both passive. So we can start to see where we could switch those around, but just like there's ways that conflictors are the same in Socionics.
In which case, I think there's 2 good projects. One which I talked about before, the mapping concepts, and then second, putting that into practice in terms of, well, typing the same subjects under both systems, and then comparing notes in terms of what led to what result, and seeing if those are the same things leading to contradictory results, or if actually they're lining up in some way, or that you're just noticing different things to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something I would like to do. The only reason I haven't is because I'm just not, I mean, Socionics really confuses me with all the differing models, and I'm trying to find one that holds weight, the most weight.
One thing I've done, just to throw out an example of how like I kind of separate systems in my own head. So like Socionics and Enneagram, I've kind of done this a little bit already. But Socionics is primarily kind of like a mashup of the Jungian archetypes with information metabolism, but it's basically looking at behavior, motivation, and how you process information. But Enneagram, Socionics is more, I think, objectively there's some subjective, like with the introverted elements, but socionics is like how you objectively like metabolize information, how you interact with other people, and how other people, two people or multiple people can like how multiple people can share information among each other, and how we understand each other, and this, that, and the other thing. And Enneagram focuses on your primary fears, your primary motivations, why you react to certain things the way that you do. So 7, for example, is correlated a lot with any valuers. A lot of the time, it doesn't mean every any base is a 7, but oftentimes a lot of NE bases tend to have a strong 7 fix or 7 base. But and 7's correlated with, not 7 is associated with exploring a variety of things in order to escape pain, which is also sort of associated with NE. But the pain aspect in 7 is what differentiates that from NE. NE is just the exploration of possibilities, right? And just being able to process that information, the different alternatives, and being attuned to it. 7 is wanting to explore things to escape pain or because of a fear of pain. So there's like that difference. 3s are also associated with strong TE. But there's also that TE, unlike 3, isn't associated with fear of failure. They're both associated a little bit with productivity in some ways, but 3 is primarily associated with the fear of failure, and TE is how things work. Sorry, so there's my little tangent there and how I separate systems. I think like AP is what? Sorry.
I was saying, actually, I was talking to Peter about this. He strongly believes that extroverted logic has no close correlate in Enneagram. And he thinks that a lot of 3s are actually EIEs who are just very success-oriented.
No, that's totally true. I was just using as an example, a lot of TE valuers tend to also be 3s, just like NE and 7, but they're totally separate systems, just like AP and Socionics. Anything else? I'm just like throwing examples of correlations, certain correlations, but they're not, directly correlated, if that makes sense.
I do think that Enneagram and Psyche Yoga are similar in that they're often used alongside other theories and don't have overlap with other theories. I would also say that Psyche Yoga, it's more stark how much it is overlapping, because I think it's, again, another base 2 system rather than base 3. Enneagram, there are 9 types, everything's in triads, whereas in Socionics and Psyche Yoga, everything's in 2s. And it's a question of just what you do with those 2s and how they vary, and how much as a subdivision, say from 2 or 4.
Oh, that's a good observation. Yeah.
And also, it's the idea that they're both of them are not only are both base 2, they're both about domains and slots. They're about a certain domain of information with a certain slot, a certain function for the individual. Psyche Yoga and Socionics, as far as I'm aware, Rob, feel free to correct me, they are identical in those facets.
Doesn't there's 24 AP types, right?
Yeah.
That's got a 3 in there though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's base 2 and base 3 though, right? It's like base 6 or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting mathematical quirk. It's because any domain can go into any slot, any position in Psyche Yoga, whereas in Socionics there are finite ordering.
Yeah.
You multiply 4 times 3 times 2, and that's
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 4 factorial, and Socionics has that the TEFI, they come together.
It has like quite a few constraints. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you raising your hand?
What's your AP? It's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, if you try to type AP and Psyche Yoga as much as possible, one would just guess at, say, an FE, LV or VL, but I can't just assume that, really, given what we've already discussed. I think it's difficult to tell. I know an Enneagram, I know you're almost certainly a 2.
I know, I think I'm a 2, 6, and 9.
Mm.
Yeah, even you just raising your hand right now shows that you're a 2. That's so common. Sorry, I have these things that go around in my head when I see behavior.
Yeah, I'm a 6'9" too.
I'm a 379.
I'm 784.
I test out as 5 a lot, or I tested out as 5 a lot when I was looking into the Enneagram more.
I thought it was a 7 for the longest time, but I'm actually a 3 with a very strong 7 fix.
You're what, Jack? 7'3" what?
I think I'm a 739.
Okay, yeah.
We're so close.
I think I'm a 5. I'm not sure though.
5.
Nicole, I can be aggressive in the kitchen.
I don't, like, for some reason, it's very hard for me to see the correlation between ILEs and SIDS, and, like, just, like, the SIDS Enneagram. It's just, for some reason, it's just so difficult for me to see just, like, how they would act. I mean, in reality.
So so ILE in a certain type in Enneagram, which one was that?
SIDS. Just, like, SIDS in general.
Or
like, it's just very hard. I mean, despite me being 6.7, it's just very hard for me to conceptualize.
I think my dad's a 6, but he's an LIE, so maybe that makes more sense. But
I think my dad's a 6 actually. I think my dad's definitely a 6.
Or maybe it's anyone who shows idiosyncratic behavior just automatically gives us a 6. I don't know.
I don't know, but he tends to be very particular. I don't want to like be politically incorrect, so I probably won't speak on 6s, but I suspect that he's a 6 because of the way that he tends to worry about certain things. I'm just gonna keep it vague for now on purpose.
I was about to ask why, or
when it comes to my dad, he's also a very private person. There's another hint at 6, and I feel like if you were to ever, I feel like he wouldn't have. Not that he would like really find this because it's not like he even watches this sort of thing, but like he's always been very particular about his privacy, and it just feels weird to like talk about him right now in a public forum.
Actually, that's one thing which I used to tell if someone's a 6. If I'm getting to help me with my Socionics test, if I can't pin them down on any answer, but they're satisfied with it, then I know they're 6.
Yeah.
And my dad is exactly that. He often gets frustrated with the test as well. Right? None of these tests make sense to me.
My dad is very similar. He doesn't like being pinned down by like I talk to him about psychology and such, and like I'll, for fun, throw the test at my parents. My mom is much more open to it. I'm not really sure what my mom is. I think she's a 2, but my dad is definitely, he just throws it at. He just chalks that up to, oh, that's a bunch of BS and blah blah blah, and all that.
Yeah,
he tries to be all contrarian about it. Sorry.
It's okay with the tests that I've made. And I know you've made a bunch too, Jack. I will have people that are like, well, I want neutral answers. I want a scale where I can pick 1 through 7. And then I'll give them that, and then they won't know what to choose, or they'll take the test 7 times, and each test they give me a different answer, so I can't do anything with all those. And I'm like, that is 6. That is 100%.
You know what I think would be
I've done that before.
If you were to give a scenario, so you have X or you are at X, what, like that's much more, because everyone picks different things in different situations. So if you give context to the situation, you're much more likely to get a more accurate answer as to who they are.
Absolutely, and that actually works for most people. However, 6s is what I like to refer to as the weasel. So they will find a way, because they don't trust their own mind. So a lot of times they don't trust their own answer, and then they won't trust other people's answers. So, but I do agree what you said. When I because I've done a lot of different formatting for tests, and the ones that do work the best are if I force somebody to put themselves in a situation and then they have to pick. So it's like, and they hate it.
When I look at typing videos, a lot of them are, you know, you don't exactly, I can see the interviewer doesn't really get the answer that they want, and then they delve deeper in giving a situation with context. So maybe just jump straight to that. I don't know. Might be worth testing.
I think I can put together a test which a 6 can confidently answer. It's a test question.
What?
I could have a go now. Okay? So, you are traveling down to the train station in order to pick up your sick grandmother. She is 86 years old and is suffering from a bad case of hydrocephaly, which is not very nice at all. You realize that you have to be there on the dot, or else she'll be very anxious and upset with you. Now, you are on your way to the train station. There is a red door on the train, and there's also a green door further back, and there's also many plumes of smoke, and it's rather hard to see. You also need to be aware of the pavement where you may trip if you fall. Unfortunately, you have already fallen in front of the train, which is coming right towards you. You have two choices. Do you jump out of the way, or do you not jump out of the way?
Well,
What?
well, I guess my 86-year-old grandmother will be upset because I'm probably gonna be too lazy to jump out of the way.
I also forgot to say, it's also that the sun is shining quite brightly. It's another important piece of context.
Well, that's the case, and I'm
Crucial.
probably not gonna jump out of the way because the sun is gonna be too bright.
Wait, are you asking, like, would we jump out of the way of the train?
If there's a train coming towards you, do you jump out of the way or do you not jump out of the way? But also take into account all the other little details about your environment, so you've got the fullest context. Just
They're
in case
very important.
the situation.
But like,
I mean,
logically
I'm gonna jump out of the way no matter
like-
what because I don't want to die.
I mean, but if the sun is shining brightly, like, how will I be able to see? Like, how will I know if I like got to the pavement in time? Like, I don't want to miss like legs. Like, if I miss legs, then how am I going to say or
I'd rather.
get to
I
my
mean,
86-year-old grandmother in time?
I guess like if like by chance it's implied that we're gonna die either way, I certainly don't want to die like I don't want to die getting hit by a train. That's kind of morbid, but
What's the other way that, if it's not the train, what else would kill you?
Oh, well, this is true. I also have to tell you that on one side of the track, if you jump left, there is a very hungry crocodile. On the right side...
Train.
Yes, on the right
I'm trying
side...
to get a death roll.
There's a discarded banana peel. That is exactly...
Oh, so it's three choices now. You can either not jump or you can jump left or right.
Yeah, oh, yes. You're right. Maybe I should put that into the question. Jump left or jump right or don't jump.
Yeah, left, because I can probably recover from a banana
I can probably dodge a banana peel, but I'm not gonna mess with a
fall on my ass
crocodile.
and not die.
But what if the banana peel is very slippery and you end up falling back in?
I'm confused.
I think maybe not.
Well, that's a lose-lose situation, no matter what.
Jack, once you say too many words, you start to lose people. Like, that's
I
all
think
going in my head. I don't remember any of it.
That's sort of the idea.
Yeah, that's like a lose-lose situation.
Everybody gets annoyed with any egos because of this. Everybody tells me I use too many words too.
Yeah, Jack's doing it on purpose because he's saying that people lose attention if you give too much context. But there is a happy medium. There's a happy medium, Jack, was what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Just no one knows what a happy medium is when it comes to it.
I feel like if I'm jumping one way, like the opposite side of the train tracks, like I'd rather, like if I'm jumping on banana peels, I'm not gonna jump back the same way towards the. I mean, that's how physics is working in my mind. I'm not gonna jump back to the train tracks. I'll probably fall further forward, is how I'm seeing it. So I'd rather go the other way.
I think it depends. I think it depends on how far away the banana is from the train. Because if you're going like, let's see, this is you. This is the banana peel. If you're going this way
But
and you
like-
hit the banana peel, it's going to slide and you're going to fall back to where you already were.
What, so like if the
your
banana-
head, if you are trying to die, then you probably want to jump onto the banana peel, slide forward, fall back with your head so it hits on the train track, the railing, then it'll go right over your brain and it'll be an instant death. As opposed to getting hit by a train, you get mutilated, bottom half of your body falls off. Spend weeks in the hospital and you slowly die.
I would never think that ever. That is.
But like, but oh yeah,
I'm a
but
very
either
careful
way,
person.
There is a 26% chance that this is all in your imagination.
26. So what you have to do then is you have to multiply the possibilities of all those by 0.26, right?
Yes.
But we have there's an equal possibility of each of those. So then what's the other 74% that you're just
That
dreaming?
it's real.
The rest of 74% is that either it's real or it is all a Gettier case.
All a what?
The Gettier case. Isn't that about like epistemology?
Yes.
I don't think that connects.
A Gettier case is where you encounter something where
That doesn't constitute knowledge?
you have a good reason to believe that something is the case, but
Oh yeah.
not actually the reason for why it's true.
Right. You believe it for the wrong reason. You believe something for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Like, you believe something is true, and it is true, but it's actually for the wrong reason.
Right.
I feel like in the cases of survival, it's better to just assume that, especially since it's just a low statistic anyway, even if it were a much higher statistic that it's not real. If I'm hallucinating, potentially dying, I'm just going to go with, trying to not die.
Yeah.
Is it a hallucination or a Gettier case, the train stuff?
Well, it could be both. You see, a crucial piece
Yes, you're right.
The banana peel on the floor, it was actually laced with magic mushroom. And you ate it before falling.
Oh, that's why it's there.
And the point is, although there is a train coming towards you, it is also possible that you are hallucinating. And it's actually your dear grandmother running towards you at full speed to give you a warm embrace. But it's actually a train.
And there's a 76% chance that it doesn't matter because you're not really going to get hit by a train. You're going to get a hug from your grandma.
Yes, exactly.
So you probably just
decided to grab.
Wow.
So it's okay, but think about this. So it's either you die or you have to deal with your grandma being upset with you later. But see, if you're alive, you can just explain to your grandma, what happened, and that you were, come up with some creative way of explaining why you were out of your mind.
I mean,
But if you die, you're dead. I mean, how upset is your grandma going to be that you're dead?
I mean, I think the main takeaway is that the odds are you're just high. So just assume
But
you're
the
high when you
odds are
take it.
higher that it's not that it's real, right?
No, it's a
76%.
It's a 74% chance that it's a Gettier case / hallucination.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought
Magic
it was a
mushroom shit.
26% chance that it wasn't. I don't know.
Unless Jack changes something again, I don't think.
I feel like any percentage where you could potentially die is I'd rather just assume that I might die.
I wouldn't
and
want
try
a
to
grandmother
not
being
die.
as quick as a train, coming full speed.
Well, that's
Especially if I
probably just
don't know
because
that I'm hallucinating.
probably just
Sorry.
because of the that's probably just because of the mushrooms that it looks like she's going so fast, but she's actually not.
Although I feel like if you had mushrooms, if you've had mushrooms, there's a certain way. Are you talking magic mushrooms, like shrooms, like psychedelic mushrooms? Oh,
Imagine a brain coming at you making airplane noises.
So the hallucinogenic, I can't talk. The psychedelic effects of mushrooms are very distinct.
Geometric.
So I feel like I know. I feel like I know that maybe it wasn't real then, and that I was tripping, even if I didn't know I'd taken it. I think I know that I was tripping on something just because of the way reality appears. It's not as if it's totally three-dimensional. It just feels like colors are very bright. Yeah, I've had mushrooms. So yeah, I know what that
Yum.
would probably
What is the
seem
bloody
like.
answer?
Say what?
What is the answer?
Wait, there is an answer?
If I
You don't do anything.
knew-
She already answered. She said that.
If I mean,
I didn't know
if
you
we,
were supposed to
if magic, you didn't mention magic mushrooms or shrooms in the first scenario, Jack.
I'm
So
sorry. I
that
just
makes
had
a
to.
difference.
I felt more context could be given. You're right. It's a terrible question. I need to rewrite
I guess
all context in from the very beginning.
because
thought we already
that has
gave
a
the
certain
answer.
effect. So I guess like if shrooms are in the mix
No,
and I'm
we've been
tripping.
thinking about this wrong the whole time. I gotta interject when you're done.
Well, I didn't know. No, I didn't know about the mushrooms.
I was
If
just
I'm
gonna
tripping
say.
on something, the answer is if I'm tripping on something, I'll most likely be able to tell that I'm tripping on something, especially since I've experienced it before. So I'll probably freak out a little bit, but I don't think I'll do anything like totally drastic, I guess.
Oh,
But like if you're high
well,
enough
I'll
on
probably
mushrooms,
just
you
not.
will get paranoid and freak out anyway. So yeah, depending on how much you took. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just think you still jump for the banana peel because there's still like. So what happens if that's false? If that's false, it's just your grandma. You jump out of the way of your grandma, and you fall, and maybe she runs into you and trips. But that's very unlikely. So you just because if you're wrong about it being, you do like a 4x4 like true false true like if you're
make a matrix out of it.
Exactly, you make a matrix out of it, and you just and also you can just think about it sequentially and just be like, there's no you can't die if you jump out of the way and hit on the banana peel. That's the lowest possibility of death if you're trying to live.
Is
Well,
the
let's talk
grandma
about
in
things that
danger
don't
from
make
the
sense.
crocodile?
You know who's really good at doing a SWOT analysis?
Trey, join.
Who?
Oh, hey Trey. Trey can join. Trey would like
let's
this
talk about
Trey.
Let's talk about the things that don't make
doing a
sense.
SWOT analysis.
Can you actually slip on a banana peel when it's like on concrete? Can you actually slip on
Jack's
slip on banana peel?
polite comment of saying giving too much context, and it just went to swell.
Wait, is Trey coming on?
Also,
He can come if he wants.
my
Post the
second.
comment.
Oh, okay. Anyway, like my second question is, a grandmother who is 86 running full speed. Like, do grandmothers have that type of capacity to run, or just like full sprint? Who's like 86?
I've seen
Especially
grandmothers who are in their 80s. I've seen old ladies in their 80s who are. Some of them can, if they exercise and keep up with themselves well enough, they're as healthy as a horse. Like I've seen it. It's crazy, and I hope to be that when I live to be that old. Yeah.
But this grandmother is sick though.
Oh yeah.
So how could she be
I guess it is a little bit inaccurate.
How is she walking if she has hydrocephaly?
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
She's
None
not
of
just
this
walking,
makes
she's
sense.
the whole entire train.
None of this makes sense at all.
What we didn't talk about was the density of the air. Now, it just so happens to be that the density is more dense than the water in her head. It's actually keeping her upright.
I'm not talking about the density. I'm not talking about her falling over. I'm just talking about the fact she has hydrocephaly. She's deathly ill. Isn't that water on the brain or whatever? So that's like I don't know if you can walk in that condition. I don't know the stages of hydrocephaly before you die, but
that's true. But she
Garrett's got the correct answer.
What was that?
You've got the correct answer. You can't walk. She can't walk. It's a dream.
There you go. But still,
everything's an hallucination, so it doesn't matter. If you're high, nothing matters. So.
Also, you're not going to have the time to think this through this far, so it's just like
PG.
I didn't know that there was a correct answer.
No, there's
there
definitely
is no
a correct
answer. You're high on shrooms.
There's definitely a correct answer. You have to balance the equations and stuff.
Everything's
I mean, well, yeah, but feel. It's just,
If I'm high and I see a crocodile to my left, I'm going to the right. If it's a choice between a crocodile and slipping on a banana peel,
And a train.
whether or not it's an hallucination, I'm not going to go towards the freaking crocodile.
I'm probably gonna sign off. I gotta go take care of something. Good meeting you guys.
Trey, oh my gosh, what's up, Trey?
Hello.
Yeah, I've had several people ask me to join today.
I was one of them.
Why?
Hey.
So,
Solving a
it got so loud. Everyone's talking.
Enneagram 6s. I can't repeat because I made up on the spot and I forgot most of the detail.
Oh, there we go. I know why. It's because I was playing both the video and the stream. Oops. Did someone say something? Did someone ask me a question? I feel like it just got really quiet.
Trey, how are you today?
What?
Oh,
That was the question.
I'm doing so good. It's a pretty uneventful day, but it's still good.
How you been, Trey?
I got a PS5, so I want to rub it in everyone's face whenever I can.
Of course.
pretty good.
What games did you get? What games did you get?
Oh, I got a few. I got Ghosts of Tsushima. Whatever.
Ooh,
I got that one.
Yes.
I got Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I got Cyberpunk.
I don't know anything about video games.
What'd you say?
How many glitches have you had so far?
It does this thing once you play for like 30, 45 minutes where it won't go anymore and it starts over. You know what I mean? Like you got to reboot the game. But besides that, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
There's always, no matter what, no
Aww.
matter
Hi, Zara.
Like I see so many people stream, but whenever they get to like the first part of the game, there is always this this lady who does the T pose.
Oh really? That's funny.
Yeah, it's just like I've seen multiple streams where everyone comments on it. It's just funny.
So
Yeah,
I
think of it
haven't.
just-
Sorry, I haven't been watching any of this today. So what have you guys been talking about this whole time? How long has it been going? 2 hours? Not too bad.
We haven't stayed on.
We've been talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, remember when I first popped on? I popped on like 20, 25 minutes, and one of the first questions was something about how would an NI lead respond to all the diverging. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And Trey comes in, he's an NI lead, and he's like, so what have you guys been talking about? As if we were going
Had
off
a
of a certain
subject.
theme. As if we had an actual subject. And I'm over here like, wait a minute. We never had a subject.
As someone who lives with Damon, he must have an answer to this question about extroverted sensation banter. How do you respond to extroverted sensation banter, Trey?
How do I respond to extrovert sensation banter?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends. There's so many kinds, really. I mean, do you want a little bit of a?
Can you give me the top 3 examples?
Okay, all right. So
maybe an extra half.
Sometimes we argue about things. So what he's referring to, by the way, is my roommate, who's an SLE that I've lived with for like 5 years now. Sometimes we argue about things that neither one of us believe for like 30 minutes. Like neither one of us actually believe our positions. We're just sitting there like trying to see if we can make a better argument than the other person. That's something that happens.
What's Damon doing? Is he there now? You should he should video bomb. Ask him to come in and video bomb this live stream.
Nah, it's all right.
Oh, come on. No fair.
It'll be like 2 meters back.
Say it again?
He's just looming behind you. 2 meters back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, just loom.
Oh, I'm in my room right now. I mean, I could probably. I mean, I don't know.
Just tell him to come in.
Why is everyone pushing me for this?
We want to see. We haven't seen Damon forever.
All right, fine. I'll give in. Hold on 1 second. Hey, bro. All of WSS wants to say hi. The whole damn community.
Does it have WSS?
Damon, what's up?
How you doing? What happened to your nose?
Huh?
What happened to your nose?
What happened? What do you mean?
Did you bang it?
No, it's just big. Just
Were
crushed
you,
it.
were you out in the cold, Damon? It's all red. Did you like? Were you like out in the cold previously, or like did you blow your nose or something? It's all red.
I've been recovering from the coronavirus.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Huh?
Daniel of COVID-19 as well.
Yeah, shit sucks.
I had COVID-19. I was nearly asymptomatic though.
I wasn't.
But I took a rapid antibody test and it said I was negative for the rapid antibody test. So either that's a false negative or my COVID test was a false positive from several weeks ago.
Probably both. Figure that one out.
Zara's taking the most.
What a paradox.
Huh?
I said, what a paradox. I mean, this whole COVID thing is a paradox anyway. None of us know all that much about it, but that's a whole other can of worms.
Right. It feels weird having Trey Farrell under my image. I've now become Trey. This is the yearning of my suggestive function I have now fulfilled. I've become Trey.
Oh my god, there was one video that I watched. Taylor was in it. Taylor, Trey, and Benjamin. And Trey was actually under your name that time. So I guess as they say,
yeah, I bailed on it. They were having a conversation and I dipped out like really early and he just took over. Yeah, I remember that.
It comes full circle. There you go. It comes full circle.
Well, that's the perfect thing for the end of the year. Things coming full circle.
Yeah, there you
Jack,
go. There you
Jack,
go.
are you growing some facial hair, man? It looks like you're getting a little bit of goatee going, man.
I know. Ginger. It goes a bit ginger. But I'm sort of forced to be too extreme. Either I have no hair on my chin, or I have like a bit.
I don't know, man. It looks like you're starting to grow one like me. You're starting to look like me now.
Yeah, but you got a big black beard, and I got a little pale ginger beard.
Hey, man, we can't control that. Like, I got the red nose too. It's Christmas season.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm just in the holiday spirit.
Truth be told, one of the reasons why I'm wearing a headband is because I'm trying to hide most of my hair because it's Shagsville. My hair is total Shagsville right now, and it's just yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was gonna say, but I can't go. I can't just have stubble, otherwise Zara complains because it gets too prickly.
Just leave it. Just start scratching people with it. See, you really are turning into an SLE.
Yep, people have been saying that for a while now. What have been telling me?
You gotta fix your tag. Your ILE is not accurate at all. Because this is the transformation of types. I've become IEI. Look, my name is now Trey. You have to change yours to SLE.
Oh my goodness. Wait, but that's not symmetrical.
No, yours just went a different way. Not everything's perfect. Figure that part out.
Is there a way to change my name while I'm in the video?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so.
Click on the settings.
No, you
On the
cannot
settings.
transform that fast. This is a lifelong process.
Click the three dots down below and then click edit name. Oh, she's got
She couldn't handle that kind of energy transfer.
Takes too much brain power.
Yeah, she was like, I'm trying. She wanted to turn inside out like me. All right, here's Trey. He's back.
The funny thing about this call is that I could talk like all day, and I would never leave.
Okay, I changed
it.
I accidentally exited, but I changed it.
Trey, is that Trey for life, or is that Trey AP?
Yeah, I made it when I was like, I don't know, like
it's not-
16.
It's not for logic.
That's a good transfer.
I know, that's what I was thinking the
We'll go
whole
with that now. We'll go with for logic now. I like that more.
Trey for logic.
That's actually kind of catchy.
Wait, do you really have 4L?
No, I think of an L beginning word.
I don't think we
Trey
know
Light.
Trey's AP type yet.
AP?
Do we?
What's that?
Audemars Piguet.
We don't know Zara's AP type.
Forget what I was gonna say.
Pretty sure she's AP is another system, a bit like Socionics. It's more confusing, exactly.
Sounds
Wow,
4L.
I didn't know that was possible.
But Rob is the expert in AP. Attitudinal psyche.
She's like, nope, 4L, nope, out of that one.
I barely get Socionics, so I don't think I'm getting anything else.
Yeah, we can't even get our type straight in one system now, can we?
I think
Burn.
Apparently I'm an IEE.
Who told you this?
Oh, I don't know. It comes around occasionally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I've
I
gotten
didn't
a couple
realize-
of SEE typings. Jack, you saw that. Remember, some people try to type me.
I've
SEE.
seen people type Leia as SCE.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen that?
I've seen that. It's pretty common.
Actually, let me go to the psychology page and see what's
Yeah.
going on here. Actually, that'll be
No,
fun. We can do that. Let's go look at everyone on Psychology and see what we all got.
Someone,
Dude, Roan typed me SEE. Jack,
start
Roan
with
typed me
Jack.
SEE.
Huh?
Roan, I don't know if you know Roan. He's typed me
Someone typed me as,
SEE.
Rowan?
Jack.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Rowan.
Astrovix on Discord. Yeah.
Rowan the
Someone typed me
clock.
as ST Polar.
Jack, you have a lot of ILE typings. Like, yeah, there's like a few exceptions. There's an LSE in here. Yeah, there's 2 LSEs and I think 2 EIEs. And that's about it. Yeah, you got 2 LSE typings, 2 EIE typings, and then you've got like on Psychology. And then you've got like and then you've got like 10 people who think you're ILE, or like 12 or something like that.
Oh yeah. I've got a pretty strong consensus.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I gotta admit.
I could not take another EIE in the house.
And Galenka, they disagree.
Let's see what mine looks like.
I've been typed 3
I got-
other different types.
I got a.
Rob, what do you think of me being SEE?
Oh wow.
I don't know. I'm so bad at Socionics. Don't even ask me.
But like me being your identical, I know everybody's different no matter what, but like, do you think we vibe?
An argument?
What?
Has Rowan put up an argument?
Yeah, no, he did. I think he did on Psychology. Yeah. Yeah, I think he made a comment. What?
Well, I typed in Socion by example Leia, and I got Leia's comeback after being failed by a school system. What?
What? What did he say?
First thing that comes up is Leia's comeback after being failed by a school system.
Hey, you're too loud. Just go.
Someone put a link for that.
Yeah, hang on.
I don't know what he's referring to. Which school system?
I think it's not an relevant link. It's an irrelevant link.
Let's see.
Yeah, hang on.
I just remember he mentioned something about unbridled ramblings. He got annoyed with me, with my ramblings. I don't know.
So.
But it's
So
more of an
you're
argument for
Polar
any
because
then,
of
isn't it?
Right?
What?
Yeah, that's what I get.
That.
That's what I get when I type in Leia and then Socion by example. So I'm not sure the argument's up. I have to look.
That wasn't referring to me.
I don't know,
was
a few
it?
of
Is
you.
that a different?
Namely
No,
Rob
there
and Malik.
may-
I've
there
done
is
a typing
chance-
session with Sodex.
There is a chance there's more than one Leia on this
What's up, dude?
planet, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, look up
It's
under
always going
Persephone
good.
Wilds.
Yeah.
Under
Oh,
Persephone Wilds, because that's my Discord name, and I think they were also going by my Discord name.
I
I've
see.
been typed IEE by other people too, and also ST Polar. I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
For me or you?
No, for me, not you.
Oh.
But I'm curious as to why they type you as SCE.
Beats
I don't think
me.
that makes sense.
Unless they're like using a different socionic system. I don't know. I don't know how SE
Some people just aren't
SE
logical.
base makes sense.
Or sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes what you see is people get the wrong type, and they're convicted on it, and then they're like, oh, this socionic stuff is most people have it wrong, and then they just modify it to whatever fits their incorrect type.
Secure.
If you notice, the people who
on-
have really weird like approaches to socionics, if you look, there's actually they'll start typing people and like you could transfer it over basically. You could take several people and you find out that they get the same relations confused. It's pretty interesting.
Right.
My
I'm pretty sure that there is no argument of you on his blog. I've taken a look. He's only done 2 this year. You're not one of them.
I thought I saw one at one point, unless it got taken down.
It is possible.
I know I saw something at some point.
My biggest concern are those who correlate MBTI with socionics. They say, "Oh, you have to be this socionic type because you're this MBTI type." You know, it's like that doesn't make sense.
No,
at
they
all.
don't cross over. Nope.
Yeah, no. And then like you try to argue them about it, and then it's just like there's no point because they're just not going to listen.
I think most people who get into personality typing start with MBTI. So,
Well, yeah.
The best way to kind of go about it is just slowly introduce to socionics. Because otherwise, they'll just backlash.
MBTI is like type horror. It's like been with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you want a quality girl, you're gonna have to take your time. You're gonna have to figure out like what's left and what's right, and you'll get her eventually.
That's an interesting analogy.
Thank you.
Right, guys, I'm probably gonna have to end the broadcast soon, just because it is.
Oh, I found it. Oh, I guess Rome's isn't up on here anymore. But I found my Psychology link. Zach, Jack, can I just message it to you?
Yeah, let's take a look.
No, Jack, we can't end the stream. It's the New Year stream. It's got to go through until the end of the year.
So we're just gonna stay on the stream until next week.
It'll
Good
be
luck,
the new
guys.
Talking with Famous People.
Okay, I just sent it to you on Facebook.
I kind of don't want to go now because I've talked for so long. The problem is once I start talking,
The problem is I can't log in anymore because I forgot how to log in, and I just never could be bothered enough to ask him for the password again.
You know what? I'll just screenshot it to you.
Yeah, do that.
I might have it too.
Undo.
Yeah, I know you
Sorry.
sent that over to me once.
I think once Ibrahim gets integration with Facebook, then I'll log on to his website.
There we go. Just trying to set my iPad up, right? Okay.
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 Once you got the screenshot, I can organize it so that you can share the screen layer. But I think we should wrap up soon.
I'm sending it to you right in a second. It's in the process of sending. It's going a bit slow.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you get it?
Oh, here we go. Yes, I do. So let me share screen there. Right. Fashion sense is way too good for her to be. Hang on, this is from Sakura.
This isn't
That's
from
not-
Roan. I thought I saw one from Roan, but he must have taken it down or something. But there is an analysis.
Yeah, but I was looking for Rowan's analysis. Like we can analyze Sakura's analysis. The fashion sense is way too good, being Eileen. She's also stated that she has a hard time structuring her thoughts when she speaks, often adding in too many details. Taking back alternative, i.e., since there's no way she devalues introverted intuition.
Wait, any type could have a fashion sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What?
That's Cancer right there.
I guess I can kind of take it as a compliment, sort of. I mean, she said I have good fashion sense. I don't know if that's socionics related, though.
I mean, I'm an
But
Eileen. I
I'll
have a good fashion sense.
You can have a good fashion sense.
I have an argument as well. I think
We
I've
all
seen
try.
you sneeze. I think I've seen you sneeze like an SE in the past. So you must be one.
Yeah.
Wait, SEE sneeze a certain way?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like those ones where they're like really loud at first, but then they like sneeze all quiet. It's all like cute at the end. That's the SE sneeze.
Have my
They
moment.
must make their presence known. They must instill the fear into the
What's that?
Oh, I was saying I have my moments of fashion brilliance.
For us.
You do too. I remember, Jack. I remember there were videos where I saw like you were wearing like a top hat or something.
A fedora.
Like what kind of double standard is it? My first interview with you, Jack. My first interview with you, Jack, I was wearing that hat that everybody in the live stream made a big deal about. But like you've worn like fancy bowler hats and top hats, and like nobody calls you beta NF, do they? They thought I was beta NF because of my hat in the first interview.
Actually, a few people said I had to be an
Sneeze on it.
SLI because of my fashion.
Sneezy on it.
What was that?
Someone wrote in the comments, sneezy on it.
I think that is the comment of the year, that one. And I think that's the perfect comment to end this wonderful live stream. So thank you everyone for attending till the end of the year. I look forward to another year of hopefully a better year. Hopefully a year where we can become Mr. and Mrs. Aaron.
Don't be too hopeful. Oh yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Sorry, that was bad timing. That is not what I meant.
So yeah, hopefully a year where we can actually have Socionics meetups in person again. That'd be nice.
Oh, that'd be great. I hope we still have the Kansas City one.
Yes. Well, we can get. Well, you and Benjamin can set that up easily. I think you just need to talk to one.
For the Kansas City one?
Yeah, you got the people. You have enough people to have a Kansas City meetup. Yeah. Okay, cool. Guys, have a lovely rest of your evening for those of you in America. And for those of you in Europe, probably just us two and Bella and Daniel, have a lovely morning.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Peace out, dude.
Bye.